3, 2,
4,
1,
12,
6,
11.
19, 38, 42,
Mississippi.
and we're live. Hey, it's Wednesday. It's Xbox Nation Day. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for joining us. Please hit the like button, share it out as you guys join in. That would be much appreciated. You know, YouTube doesn't like to do that very much. You know, I see more and more YouTubers doing videos like, hey, YouTube, please, like, at least allow my subscribers to see when I've done a video or something. And I'm much in the same boat, man, rocking that like 2% of my subscribers see when my videos go live. So that's cool. But anyway, it's Wednesday, which means it's hump day. And that's everybody's favorite day, I guess. So anyway, let me introduce Mooch. Oh, wait, Mooch isn't here yet. He's running a little bit behind.
He went to Popeyes for a chicken sandwich.
He did. He was like, yeah, he's like, I'll be right back, man. I heard that this place is like really got great chicken sandwiches. I got to go get one. And I was like, all right, man. I was like, fine.
He threw the AK in the trunk just in case they ran out, and he went to go get a chicken sandwich, man.
Is that a thing? Can they actually run out of that?
From what I hear, I've heard at least 3 instances where somebody pulled out a gun because they ran out of the chicken. They ran out of the chicken sandwich.
Holy cow, man! It's just chicken.
It's just chicken.
Relax.
I can make a better one at home, people.
So Xbot 3974, what's going on, man? How's it going? Or should I call you Xbot 85 in honor of 85 Metacritic for Gears?
You can call me Xbot Battletoads. That's right. What is going on, chat? It is the middle of the week. It is hump day, and
it is.
N is live.
It is.
Brother, I'm excited. I looked at the topics tonight, so I actually saw the topics tonight. So I'm gonna go in semi-informed. I hope you like it, Crap.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be awesome. We also got Predator. What's going on, Pred? How's it going, man? Yeah, you're muted. I can almost tell that you don't know that you're muted, but you are in fact muted. Predator.
We just want
Predator. 1, 2. Hey, this is Pred. Find me on MySpace. Yeah, vote Pred. Okay, so thanks, Pred. Hold
on. Since he's not talking, you can also find him on Grindr as well.
You can. Grindr. Let me introduce. We got Kratos J-Dubs here. What's going on, man? How's it going?
Boy, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. We're excited to have you here, especially since I seen you and Dirt going back and forth this morning on Twitter. I was like, this will be a good time to have them both on the show tonight. And there he is, Dirt Diggity. What's going on, Dirt? How's it going, man?
Oh man, nothing much, man. I'm happy to be here, man. Especially with J-Dub, his shit talking ass. So let's just get it started, bro.
Yeah, man. You know, we're gonna get it started. Predator bounced out. I guess he's gonna come back in. As you guys join in, please hit the like button, share it out. I would much appreciate it. So, you know, obviously, Gears of War 5 is gonna be pretty much the talk of the town right now. A lot of people talking about it. Again, I reviewed it. I said, hey, this game is really good, but it could have ascended to greatness if they would have just had a game.
The most played game on Xbox right now,
I get it, man. I get it. But yeah, like it could have really been like a great game, in my opinion, if it would have like launched without any of the problems that it had. Because here's my problem: the Ultimate Edition are the whole reason that they're trying to get people to do like the Ultimate Game Pass stuff. So those people are paying $15 a month. I know most of us probably only paid the $1 to upgrade or whatever, but still. And then the other people paid $100 to get that 4 or 5 day early access, and most of that time they weren't even able to access the game.
What else did the Ultimate Edition come with? Didn't it come with like a statue and everything like that, brother?
Well, no, that's the collector's edition. It came with like a it came with something that flies, like a drone or something. I figured that'll probably be marked down to $50 within the next few months or whatever, and then that's where I'll pick it up, just like I did with the Gears 4 one. So yeah, you know, like this is the first time that they've really, and this is the thing, this is the way that I looked at this game was, okay, this was the game that launched with their whole new aspect of how the money's going to be put into these studios. This was going to be like the big time, you know, this is like, they were going to, you know, this is what the future was going to be like. This was going to be the first time that their studio had time, money, all the stuff that they needed to make this great first-class AAA game. And then for me, yeah, we hear you now, Brett. What's going on, man?
Predator!
Thank you for joining us, man. I covered your intro pretty well, though, I thought.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, no, you didn't, you liar. I can. So like for me, like this was like going to be the turnaround, and I think a lot of Xbox fans looked at this as like the turnaround too. Like, oh well, we can almost end the generation on this great AAA game. It's going to get like a lot of people were predicting 90 something Metacritic. It was going to be huge. You know, I'm playing it. I get stuck. I can't progress the game. Jack won't go where it needs to go. My collectibles aren't reading. My save games aren't reading. I thought the game was saving by itself.
You get like every single bug that
I
everybody
hit
reported.
so many bugs in that game. I didn't hit all of them.
You deserve it, Crap, for all your negativity about this game before time. You deserve it, buddy.
But I'm playing the game, and so like I think the game's saving because I'm going through the different acts and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'm done for the night. You know, shut it off. I go back and I'm at the beginning of the game again. When I restart, there's no save progress. So I'm like, that's weird. I do the whole thing again. Nope. I go back in, no save progress. Like this was a problem. Then I couldn't progress past a certain point, and I was like, you know, I jumped in a little bit of multiplayer, played some multiplayer. I'm like, this game has had the chance to be absolutely incredible, and it's still a good game, and it looks really, really good. The things that they were able to do get you excited for the future, at least for me anyway. Like they were able to do with that lighting and stuff like that. They got it 60 frames per second, but like the lighting and everything, it just looks really, really good. Even I thought the story was much better than the last one. I'm still not sold on the characters completely, but still was much better than the last one. And a lot of the things that they did were much better than the last one. I thought that,
so far, it's one of the best Gears campaigns I have ever played, man.
Yeah, it's really, really good. You know, like I said, the best parts for me was like the Marcus stuff. And, you know what I mean? Like, I thought that was because, he's my favorite character from that franchise. And then obviously,
brother, the matriarch.
Yeah, there was like some Cole in there, and that was pretty cool. Baird somehow reminds me of Goldberg from WWE. I don't know what the hell the deal is with that, but
I can see that, man.
Yeah, dude, he looks like Goldberg, doesn't he? Yeah. in like a dot. Yeah, who's next? Yeah, like I just kept seeing that. So yeah, I thought it's a really good game, but I just thought that like I think I gave it a 7.75 as it was, and I said if it was 100% right, it would have been an 8.5 easy. So I could definitely see that, and I think people are genuinely excited for where the franchise is going to go, and I can understand that. But again, this is your top team, really, right? This is because of this, I was super excited for this and the next Halo because I'm like, wow, if they're able to get this game out and it looks this good, wait until the next Halo. That's going to be awesome as well. And maybe Microsoft is really on to something, giving their developers time. And I started to get a little bit happy. And what happens when I get happy? Then I get crapped on a bit, and I can't play the game, and then I get frustrated. And then, and it wouldn't have been so bad if Microsoft would have had other games to play throughout this generation a little bit more. You know what I mean? But the fact of the matter is their last handful of games have been utter trash to me. And this was I
love how you put that to me there at the end, so I can't really say nothing after that.
Well, listen, I mean, to me or to a lot of people, those 50 and 60 rated games.
Opinion,
you know what I mean? Like, listen, I like Sea of Thieves, but again, and I think what they're doing is cool, but it's like I don't want to really go back to that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that was okay, and it was really barren at launch, but it was cool to drink with your friends and have a good time with it, in the multiplayer kind of space. But I think it was cool because there wasn't nothing to it. You're just hanging out, having a good laugh, and that's I think there's
when it comes to Gears 5, the release with the bugs and stuff like that. I mean, it could have been worse. It could have released like Street Fighter 5 did on the PS4 on the first day. I mean, that was absolutely horrible right there. So at least it
did lack content. It did lack content as well. I admit that, but
and the online issues were insane as well, brother.
Yeah, well, listen, that's early in the generation. Usually, how generations go, you're a little bit, you forgive them a little bit for like Rise. I forgave them a little bit for having kind of a lackluster game there.
Do you see my emblem now? I seem to have gotten a cog in there somewhere. It's no longer the Mortal Kombat, but somehow I got a cog in my emblem. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know either, man. I don't know either. I don't know. So I'm not really sure. But anyway, like I said, so you kind of forgive the early woes with games because they're supposed to get better as time goes along, and Microsoft's got worse somehow. Like they started off, I thought pretty good.
How many patches has the Coalition put out since the launch of this game?
I think 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, so you obviously see that they're working on it.
I'm playing through it now again, right? Like it's
dude, I haven't. It's good. I had one issue one time where the prompt to kick a door open?
Yeah.
It wasn't there. And that was on a side kind of like just to get a little extra thing for Jack. It was one of those exploration like side deals, but I restarted the game, and then afterwards, for me personally, my own experience, like I haven't had any of these issues you're talking about. Now I know they are out there because other people have reported them. But like I said, Coalition has put it out like 3 to 4 patches already. They are working on it. I think when it comes down to it, it's more of I don't want. I hate to say this, but you're making
it's
a really
a
big
me
deal.
problem.
Yeah, it's
You're making a really big deal here.
No, here's an issue right now that I'm having. So, like,
when this is the #1 game being sold on Steam right now, it is the #1 game being played on Xbox, and that is above Fortnite and GTA 5.
Listen, Days Gone got that same energy. You gotta accept that Gears.
And I was told about all the patches they were doing and how I need to calm down, brother.
Yeah,
they did do patches.
You know what I heard?
Same energy
you know what I heard? Xbox
needs to be matched by the same energy, then, right?
What'd you hear?
You know what I heard? This is what I heard about Days Gone. Well, it haven't happened to me.
Listen, the only people that say that are bots, and we know that.
You a damn lie.
When it first started happening,
it didn't happen to me.
Hey, listen,
we got Mooch. Incident.
We got Mooch here. Mooch,
what's up, buddy?
welcome, man. Welcome. Did you eat
Appreciate
your chicken
it.
sandwich? Was it good?
I did. It was a great sandwich. Great.
Good. He's back safe, y'all. You don't have to worry.
Put the AK away, man. It was all good.
I love listening to the show after I get back from a hiatus.
Mooch, you were playing it I think I was at work and you were DMing me. You're like, I'm stuck at this part. Jack won't work. I can't progress. What the hell is going on? You know what I mean? Like, so I know I wasn't the only one.
No.
What was your idea? Like, I think it's a good game. I think it's a really, really good game.
Absolutely.
Far ahead of Gears 4. But what was your thoughts on like the problems? And don't you think that's really kind of a sad situation considering they're using this to hype people to get Ultimate Edition Game Pass and to pay $100 to get the Ultimate Edition of the game to play early? What's the incentive to play early if it's going to be a buggy, broken mess?
Well, here's the thing too, and I came in at the end of that conversation, but this is an important point here that we all have to kind of realize is we're talking about Days Gone, Ben Studios, kind of like just kind of making their way up to the echelon in the Sony family, and then you have the Coalition, which is a premier top level developing team. My problem here is that you guys know I love Days Gone. I played it in its entirety, and I plan to do the same for Gears 5. The thing about it is that I couldn't progress through Act 2 back on, I can't remember, I think it was Sunday or Saturday, whatever it was. And it was because Jack, the AI, if you would, wouldn't progress with my main protagonist. And the issue with that is that's kind of not acceptable. And me and Xbot had an absolute blast last night. So shout out to Xbot. Thank you for joining the stream. It was fun as hell. But I mean, to be honest with you, Ben Studios had its glitches. It had its hiccups.
Yeah, I was watching you stream once. You couldn't find the gas, or the guy wasn't there for it, or whatever.
Right, but it didn't end the game. I just moved. I moved over to the left 2 steps and picked up a different gas can. My point being is that like this is a situation where you say me and you had this conversation crap a few weeks back, and we said what we have to look at here is this may be the one time the Coalition steps up and does their job and says, you know what? We're going to put out a AAA game and be like, Xbox is back on the map. And the problem is that you have people going, it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back. So that's the issue at hand here. Now they're fixing it.
It's more 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I don't really. I'm not going to put it all the way back there because, like I said, right now, you know, people with Xboxes, this is the game they're playing. Let's be real now.
Yeah, but I mean,
well, what else are they gonna? Of course,
right?
They've been starved literally for a big AAA game like this. They've been starved for 3 years.
No, see, and then there you go, segmenting it down. But when it comes down to it, it is a console. There's a library of games, both exclusive and multi-plat to play, and on top of that, a library of games. Gears 5 is the #1 game being played right now.
It is because people are hungry for that.
Xbox, people right now are comparing the Coalition, whether you agree with it or not.
To Naughty Dog.
To Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
I will do what Xbox's saying, and I think that's fair. You need to bring the same energy regardless, but it has to be apples for apples. I'll bring the same energy if The Last of Us 2 doesn't allow me to progress to Act 3 or their Chapter 3, right? So that's what I'm trying to say here is we have to say that if we're going to sit here on Twitter for days on out now and say the Coalition has made a visual stunner, which they have, and they're on the same level as Naughty Dog, then you have to bring the same energy there and say, did Naughty Dog ever release a game where you couldn't progress or we had to wait until the Monday after the Ultimate Edition released to play your game? And a lot of people write me, and Xbot's a great example. Xbot always says he uses his senses. He says, people write me all the time. People wrote me all weekend saying, I'm going to wait. And actually, it's on MNC. So you don't believe me. It's actually on MNC show. Few people in the chat wrote, I'm not going to play this game anymore until those patches come through because I'm tired of playing the same mission over and over until it unlocks.
You want to hear something funny? So like I started playing it. I was having the same issues. And I think I reported them like day 2. Like I can't unlock this. First I thought it was like, okay, this is a small glitch, whatever. Then I realized it was happening like every hour or so. I get far enough in the game. I had to restart it and backtrack and do it again, and like even now I'm looking at my collectibles and the ones I picked up in Act 1 and 2 aren't even there. So they're not even registered anymore. So I'm gonna have to go back and do those again. Yeah. So like that happened like the first 2 days. And I was like, you know what? Let me download this on PC. And God for it fucking worked. Like I had no issues once I started playing on PC. It's only working. It's only fucking up on the Xbox right now.
Are you trying to tell me that they took more care with the PC version of this game? Why would
saying that? I'm just saying that? I had no glitches when I played on PC for the 2 or 3 hours I did play. I had no issues getting in. And this was pre-patch. And like right now, everything's working fine with the exception that my collectibles aren't there. But pre-patch the other day, like I was playing fine without having to backtrack when I was on PC. And I still have the issue. What was it? So I had a couple of issues where I would glitch out of the map. I think it was in Act 2 when you're talking to the uncle. I glitched out of the map and I could not get back into the playable area. I had to restart. And the really fucked up part about that is when I glitched out of the map and I restarted, I was still glitched out of the map. I had to go back another section and redo the whole fucking thing again.
Yeah, so you know what? Let me go real quick there. I don't see why those guys are having so many issues with all these bugs and stuff like that, and especially with the servers that they been having issues with the server. With such a small install base, you would think it would be easier to obtain.
Man, get out of here.
All
right, listen. Jay, I thought you were going to drop knowledge and you ended up turning into one of those little plastic
balls. Get out of here, Jay.
Get out of here. I mean, listen, you've got a total of maybe 15 million consoles out in the wild.
14, crap, man, you lost your damn mind. Crap, you out of line right now. Listen. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm an honest guy, right?
There's only a handful of people in the install base.
There's only a handful of people.
The funny thing here, if you want to compare platforms, like when I played Uncharted 4, I had to restart the game at least three times.
Here believes you played Uncharted. Come on.
Yeah, no, I did. Dude, I streamed. That's what I said. You want to hear the deal? I actually have the proof on my YouTube channel because I live streamed it directly from my PS4. So, brother, you don't have to believe me, but I got the papers, man. I got the papers.
Okay, let me tell you guys my bugs, the bugs I have encountered playing Gears 5.
Okay.
I ran into one bug, and it was a big one. During the campaign, I died. And instead of reloading my checkpoint, it was like just a red screen and it would not reload. So I had to go to my previous checkpoint. So I had to play over like pretty much like half of the level over again. So yeah, it's unfortunate there are some bugs, but that's enough of this negative shit. Come on, let's go with the positive.
Come on, Dirt.
Who was taught when you critique something, always start off with something positive. Y'all start off with the negative.
Dirt, you pull out. Listen, you pull out of the lot with a Hyundai, and you got a problem with your car. You turn around and go, you know what? I got this. I got a great deal on this car. It's not a problem. You pull out with a Benz, and that cruise control don't work. You tell me how you feel about that after you just paid $60,000 out of your pocket. My point being is, this is the Mercedes-Benz of Xbox.
Brother,
okay? So you can't tell me that you had a
okay. I'm not saying it's okay. Did you hear me say it's okay?
But you said here was my problem. Broke the game, couldn't play it, had to start it over again. Let's move on to a different subject.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's great. It's a great game. What can I say?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I pulled out and the front axle fell off my Mercedes-Benz. Everything's fine other than that. But you know what I mean? What? The front end of your Mercedes-Benz axle dropped out and you're okay with it? No, it's not okay.
It's unfortunate, but life goes on, you know?
Well, of course I didn't lose any sleep. I mean, I slept just fine. Well, I mean, and so did you, Dirt. But I mean, at the same time, we're talking about video games. It's a video game talk show.
Yeah.
Mooch, check this out. This would be a bigger deal if we didn't deal with this, whether it was multi-plats or exclusives, this entire generation.
Hey, I have not had this type of problem where I couldn't progress my game though. I can't think of another game.
I think Fallout 76 was an issue, and
I never even got to play that game.
Look at the fire that caught.
And look at what's going on with 2K right now. People are pissed off about it.
Well, Master Chief Collection.
Master Chief Collection. Yeah, that one wouldn't give us our achievements, Mooch. Remember?
God.
Right. Well,
we were playing it and we were like, we're supposed to get an achievement there, and then we were both like, we'll go back to this game some other time. Because it was really, and again,
Microsoft. Shout out to Luca. Luca says, "Have Dirt come on my podcast. I want to have a conversation with him." That's great. Luca says, "Being honest about issues doesn't equate to hate." I agree 100% because I like Gears of War, and I think this is a really good one. It's a huge step up from Gears 4. Gears 5 is fantastic.
It is. It's really a good game, and it looks amazing. Like I would say that it's probably one of the top 2. And I would say if it was a little bit more consistent, the reason why it's not as consistent is because it's got the 60 FPS on the X. And so there's a little bit duller kind of textures in places, but overall it's not really, a big deal. So that's why I would say like God of War is a lot more consistent with that, but that's only like a 30 FPS game. So that's why they were able to, if they would have made the campaign 30 on the X, it probably could have looked much better, but I like what they were able to do with it, where you get a great looking game and a good frame rate, which I think is super important. When it comes to it though, I feel like this could have been that their template going, this is what we're having from now on, this type of quality, because let's be honest, like I know like Xbox, you'll be like, but I had fun with this game. Like the quality template is, I think, what people are like that.
Karma didn't attack me the way it attacked you, and you
I understand that.
Every single bug that was ever reported.
But listen, but when you first start this game, you get that quality smacks you in the face. This is what I've been talking about. This is what people want. They want this big AAA. This big AAA type of game that smacks of quality and great presentation. That's what Sony has. Their games hit you in the face with quality and the presentation is unmatched. And that's what this was like. And then there was a lot of issues and stuff like that. Hopefully, they seem like they're working them out good. At the same time, it's like I thought that this was going to be their trend going forward. Like they were going to have quality games like this, and that's exciting. But it's like if they're top,
trying to say that this is not a good sign for you at all.
No,
moving forward.
I'm saying
that's
cool. This is what we expected, right? Before Gears came out, right? For the last couple of years, we've been saying we want something new. We want something new. We're tired of Halo, Gears, and Forza. Halo, Gears, and Forza, right? So guess what? They give you Halo, they give you Gears, they give you Forza. Well, now it's the time they give you Gears. And now it's like, okay, I'm satisfied. I don't need anything else. It's like, come on, we got to keep that pressure up on them to deliver more high quality games and not just be satisfied with Halo, Gears, and Forza, right?
Hey, Emmanuel A says, I like Dirt's attitude on Gears. LOL. Listen, I'm just saying, okay, Mike Ortiz says, how many years did it take PlayStation to come out with those quality games? Listen, it did take them a couple years to get started, but
this has been 6 years already.
It did, but they
delayed multiple games multiple times and then released them year after year at the end of it all.
But listen, they still had they've had these great games, and let me tell you this: their best games, in my opinion, I think, have been after they released the Pro. Which for Microsoft, you look around, they released the X. Their only shining example of a great game is Gears 5, and that's a little bit sad to me that's going to be it for the 3 years that console.
I already explained to you why that happened, though. Crap.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're like listen.
No, it doesn't matter what.
It doesn't because you look back when you look back and say you get a Scarlett day one, and you look back at your X, you're like, that was a missed opportunity box. Because they realistically should have been cranking out huge presentation games. They should have been buying exclusives. They should have been doing whatever they could to take care of everything. Enrique says, I would have scored Gears 5 a 9 had the bugs not been there. I saw some reviewers not even mention the bugs. Yeah. That was a big thing for me too. Like I was like, okay, shout out to my Capital Foundry. I did Gears 5 versus Days Gone today. Check it out. What I find funny is people loved it when I was kind of poking fun at PlayStation. It's jokes, first of all, right? But now all of a sudden they hate it. And I'm just
Of
the
course.
worst thing ever because I was like, you know, I pixelated the Gears picture or whatever. Like, come on, man, it's fun. It's jokes. Like, quit getting in your
Hey,
feelings
crap,
about
you know
this
how
stuff.
people are sensitive about their console out here, man.
I get it. Like, listen, but there comes, and I used to be like that. When I first got an Xbox One, I was like, maybe I won't. Everybody doesn't want me to get one. People
Brother,
hate it. And then I was just like, you know, I'm going to get one.
I'll admit, I love Capital Foundry more when you would have like when you would have like an Xbox game and you would like compare it to a PlayStation game that wasn't on PlayStation. It would be like a blank screen.
Yeah,
that was the shit. I used to love
it.
it.
Hey, listen, I did that with I think it was hold on, let me see what the hell game this was.
It was a game that wasn't on PlayStation, but
it was one of the Call of Duties that came back on backwards.
That's
what it was.
It was. I also did Grand Theft Auto 4 backwards compatibility and Red Dead Redemption 1.
That shit was funny, man.
Yeah, I was like Red Dead Redemption 1 on PS4. It's like people would message me and go, dude, there's something wrong with your video. It's just a black screen. I was like, no, that's the joke. You know what I mean?
There's
like
the joke.
Yeah, there's the joke. But people get really upset about it. Like I said, Gears looks good. I think it looks good. But I think people are going to get crashing down to earth a little bit when they release Battletoads and Bleeding Edge.
Hey, man, they should cancel Battletoads, though.
What are you talking about?
Xbox. No, this Xbox.
Last thing Xbox needs is a cancel game.
Hey, listen,
you are trying to trigger me right now, brother.
Right there, man. I don't know about that.
Yo, last thing
I hope I'm
Xbox
wrong,
needs is a
bro.
cancel
That
game.
damn Battletoads, man. I don't know, man.
Dude, to be honest,
I hope I'm wrong, Xbox.
You got Gears, right? 85, you know, Metacritic game or whatever. It's a good win for them. They needed that.
Meta who?
You know, the universal system that everybody strives to get good scores on.
Measurement that everybody uses except Microsoft. But you know, but at the end of the day, right? It's like we know for a fact you know, these next couple of games that are going to come out are going to go back to that 50s and 60s template.
Yep.
They needed to follow Gears up with something that is 90 or 80. They need to get out of that. But if we fall back into that, okay, the final days of Xbox this generation is going to be low-rated games. Then I think it loses that momentum, which they don't really have any momentum. But I mean, they need momentum going to.
Yeah, no, they have
momentum.
Hold on, brother. They have no momentum when again, like I said before. Gears 5 is the #1 game being played on Xbox right now, and is the #1 game being sold on Steam. But guess what? You are absolutely right.
Listen, let me tell you why I say there's no momentum. Let me tell you why I say there's no momentum, right? They just dropped Gears, the biggest game of this generation for Xbox, technically, right? Sony comes out and tweets, hey, by the way, we're going to be showing Death Stranding and Final Fantasy VII and The Last of Us.
Nobody cares.
We're just going to drop a tweet, and then nobody's talking about Gears.
So once they drop,
they need more of that to keep people attention. Are we supposed to just ride Gears out to the end of the generation?
Brother, check this out. Check this out. See, I'm agreeing with you. You're right. As soon as they dropped that tweet, everybody just looked at their Gears and just dropped their controllers and like, what the hell did I do? And nobody's playing it right now. Although it is again stated that Gears 5 is the #1 game being played on the Xbox console and the #1 game being sold on Steam. Those are numbers you cannot swing around.
Those are low expectations. What else? What else? I mean, you expect people to be
the #1 marketplace on PC. I mean, the #1 marketplace on PC. And
the first AAA big balls to the wall game in 3 years that they've released.
You know what? It's amazing. It's amazing what marketing does.
It was $1. It only cost you $1 to play the game.
Hey, listen. Also, I want to point out that it's true what Predator just said. They're marketing it everywhere. They're marketing it on YouTube, on Instagram, on Hulu, on TV, the NFL, movie theaters.
Here's my thing.
There he is. Where you been, man? You're taking a day off.
No, I'm not taking a day off. Everybody's talking. I can't get in there. Listen, I'm letting everyone speak.
Man, you know how it works.
It's all right. I waited my turn. My point is that I think this is the point. What you just said is what I completely disagree with. Crap. Everyone's like, well, there you go, Mooch. There it is. I saw it on Hulu yesterday.
Yeah.
Great. It's already out. Like, imagine if, like, Joker, the movie that's coming out soon with Joaquin Phoenix, imagine if that came out and they started advertising it 6 days after it was already in theaters. I'm like, well, when does it come out? Last week. Right? So everyone's writing me. Mooks, look at this. I'm like, dude, that was supposed to happen 2-3 months ago. So my point being is that no, the advertisement that started this week for a game that came out last week, that doesn't work. That's not how it is. Plus, you have to take into consideration what Jay just said. Everybody's playing it because it's 99 cents. Number 3. Number 3. Number 3 on my list of what the hell. That's like telling me, Boots, you won't believe it. In McDonald's, the Big Mac's selling number 1. No shit. Everyone's like, do you believe Gears?
Manny TV's just dropped it though. He goes, there are currently 6,000 people playing Gears on Steam. Because by the way, they have a tracker for that. And he says with a peak of 10,000 today. So anybody that thought that this thing was selling millions upon millions on Steam, no, it's a big release for sure. But if you sell 50,000 copies, that's going to be no.
Hold on,
everyone's writing me yesterday.
Are you talking about active users now?
No, how many people are playing? How many people are playing the game?
User.
But how many people are
definition?
But that's an indication. User. That's an indication when it comes to like.
Okay,
Steam.
So we're talking active users.
That's an indication of how many people bought your product.
Brother, I am proud of you. You are progressing.
There's no progression there. Look, Microsoft, they're still huge pussies and won't announce what they do because they're afraid that it would look bad.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. They're afraid of it, right? So listen, they'll say in 5 days, 3,000 million hordes have been stomped, and you know what I mean, all this kind of crazy.
Here's the
40 million chicken sandwiches eaten with your left hand while doing the chainsaw rev with the right.
Hold on, let me get in real quick. I'm trying to make up for my day off. Listen, all right? Listen to me for a minute. Here's the other issue I have. People go, well, the minute you make a good point against the Microsoft topics, they're like, well, Mooch, you can't say that. I'm like, why? Microsoft's not revealing those numbers. Listen, just because they live on their imaginary island now, okay, and they're depicting what numbers they want to release and not, okay, that doesn't necessarily make the fact that what's happening is a good or bad thing. My point being is this. When you have NPD come out at the end of the month, okay, and we find out how Gears actually did as far as sales, I don't know if it's going to necessarily do well. Maybe it will, but I doubt it will when everybody's playing it for 99 cents on Game Pass. So the thing that really got me yesterday was a lot of people wrote me yesterday like, Mooch, you won't believe it. Gears 5 is number 1 on Xbox. And I'm like,
you won't believe it, Mooch.
I mean, no shit. Yeah. Right? I mean, like,
what you mean no shit?
Because
Apex Legends was never number 1 on Gears.
Have you thank you. Thank you, Jay. Jay, thank you, because apparently Dirt he's been listening to like some other podcast while he's been on this one for the past 5 weeks. I've been saying this to you every week, Dirt. All the hardcore they all bought Game Pass for 99 cents. Of course, we're all playing Gears.
Okay, so explain why Gears is number 1 on Xbox. Because
I just told you.
No. Hold on.
It's $1, and
hold on. Apex Legends was a Fortnite killer. That never made number 1. Red Dead Redemption never made number 1. Why is Gears 5 number 1?
Apex actually did make number 1.
Yo, Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5.
The scale is going to be right.
Nobody dethroned
number 1 when it dropped
Fortnite since
this is the
summer of 2018. All of those games, it would never dethrone Fortnite. Apex Legends is free also. Never dethrone Fortnite, but Gears 5 dethroned Fortnite. It's possibly temporary, but I'm saying $1
shooters compared to Fortnite, right? Fortnite are bigger than those other shooters, but you got Gears, your flagship game.
Right?
No, Dad, think about it. No, Microsoft, like if they would have sold this game for $60 and wouldn't have it on Game Pass, we would have had some tangible numbers to go by on the progression of what this game is doing.
That's Microsoft's strategy, though, Jay. Why do you care so much? That's
what
they want to do,
or whether it's not. The number 1 numbers that everyone needs to look at is whether Xbox is growing its install base or whether it's shrinking its install base. Those are the only numbers that matter.
Dirt Griggity.
And the only way you can determine whether a fan base is shrinking or expanding is by those
console sales that mattered, and now
Griggity.
All of it matters, right? All of it matters.
Listen.
Let Dirt to release
all over the place.
Console sales numbers, game sales numbers, and engagements, and all the other stuff. Come on, man, we can't.
Well, not
this game is helping out that no one's actually talking about. Is the fact that Xbox is in the news. Like their marketing has always sucked.
Without laughing, without getting laughed at. That's a great thing.
Yeah, they're in the news, and people are like, "Oh, I need to get it." Some people are actually using their Xbox. I hadn't used the motherfucker in a while. So like the fact that this game has actually got people on Xbox, even if they're just looking at maybe purchasing one, that's what this game did for the company. It isn't just about the Metacritic scores or having something out that is worthy. It's like it's actually bringing news to the Xbox community and making people take a second look at their Xboxes or maybe getting an Xbox in the future.
Well, that would be what they call momentum right there.
We've always said, right? The only problem,
that would be momentum.
The only problem Microsoft has had is releasing games of this caliber, of this quality often.
Yep.
This is like, guess what? The next, listen, the only time we know we're going to get a decent rated games if it's a Halo, Gears of Forza, and maybe a Ori, whenever that's it. Other than that, we all can assume it's going to be a dumpster fire or a money.
Listen, at this point, we can assume that it's going to be a dumpster fire.
Listen, let me just back up what Jay's saying for a second. Even people that don't like Death Stranding, people say, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to be.
You have to trust.
You know what they're saying? You know what they're saying, though?
Yeah.
Probably going to be a Game of the Year candidate.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah. So my point is that.
Why are they saying that, though, Moot?
You know why they're saying
because of the pedigree.
Track record.
Because of the pedigree, right.
Yeah, not only that, but check this out. This guy invented his own freaking genre in video games, and he's already like got a rub from the media and stuff like that. They love this guy. So he's going to come out with his own invented genre, and people are going to go crazy for it. And I'm not saying that I
love him, man. Where do I sign?
I'm not saying, listen, I'm not saying that I'm going to love the game. I'm saying that it's going to genuinely be a game. Look, what the hell game was that last year that got in the game running for Game of the Year? Was that indie game that we got for free? Celeste, right? Yeah. That might be one of the worst 20 minutes I put into a game. Okay. But it still was in their Game of the Year running, right? Because for whatever reason, I don't even know. But Luca makes
great games for that category.
I know, right? Look, if Luca says if Red Dead had been on Game Pass, it would have been #1. Listen, that's exactly right.
That's Microsoft strategy, though. Why are y'all ignoring that? That's Microsoft's strategy. That's their strategy. Engagement is their strategy. We've been talking. Listen, I've been listening to you guys for years. We've been talking about Microsoft's strategy is engagement. How crap will always say, yeah, 500,000 people did this with the ham sandwich and shit. That's their strategy, engagement.
It's a shitty strategy, Dirt.
It is. It's not.
Dirt, ready? Dirt.
It's working for them. It's working for them.
Favor.
Fred just said,
it's not about them. It's about the gamer. Is it working for the gamer?
Yes, it's working for the gamer.
You spent your $500.
We're playing Gears 5 for $1.
If you ask
for the gamer,
ask somebody. Do me a favor, Dirt. Ask somebody in your family, ask a young, and say, how'd you do on your SATs? They go, well, to be honest with you, Uncle Dirt, what I did was I studied for about 75 hours a week. Well, that's great. How'd you do on the SAT? Well, what I did, Uncle Dirt, was I stopped playing baseball, video games, and everything because I put that 75 hours into studying for the SAT. I get that. I understand. That's very good. But how did you do on the damn SAT? And all they keep doing is beating around the bush. And that's what Microsoft's doing. How many did you sell? Well, we can't really tell you that, but we can tell you this much. Kane had 75,000 headshots on Tuesday last week.
Mooch, I love your analogy. Man. I love your analogies, right? But J Dub just said it's not working for the gamer. How in the hell is playing Gears 5 for $1 not working for the gamer?
No,
right?
Listen,
how is that not working for me?
I didn't say that was it. I said, listen, this generation is over. It's over.
Yes, it is.
And they're going to come out in a couple of months and try to sell us on another $500-600 damn console.
Nope.
Has that $1
Halo gonna be there too, baby?
That you spend $1 for, has that sold you on yet another 6-7 years of failures? Has it?
Another 6-7 years.
Who said it's going to be
so
6,
you can predict the future now?
Listen, let's face it. It's going to take another 3 to 4 years for them to get some bangers ready anyway. So I mean, these studios, they just
they're not working on anything.
Don't even have buildings working yet. I mean, come on.
Doing it right. They just started right now, Jay. You're right. It's going to be like 6-7 years, and then it's just going to be a failure. You know what you should do? Just stay on PlayStation.
Every game is not going to take 5 years.
While it's going to take those guys 3 to 4 years to crank out some good quality game, right? Because it takes that time.
Dude,
What do you think Sony and Nintendo's going to be doing? They're going to be poaching these Xbox gamers that are sitting around waiting with their
That's not what I've been doing. That's not what I've been doing.
Well, yeah, we know you're all going to be all up in Bleeding Edge and Battletoads. Gotham guy says, Mooch, the regular edition launched yesterday, so the advertising does work if it started last weekend. And Jay, I wouldn't hang your hat on Death Stranding. The gameplay still lacks in quality.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean,
He on a mushroom today.
Opinion like that, brother?
Hey, no, I mean that's
quality versus what?
That might be 6 or 7 hours right there, bro.
Hey, Emmanuel says, Mooch, please start doing stand-up comedy.
I do it like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, there's over 500 watching. Hit the like button. Let's get up to one. Let's see that go up to 150, guys. I would love to see that over 500 watching. We only got 90 likes. Get it up to 150. I would appreciate that. For me personally, I think Gears is a good game. Is it like? Here's the thing that I would say, Dirt. Is that strategy of getting games ready for Game Pass as quick as they can? Is that really for the gamer? Maybe like most of their games are games as a service. Did you guys see? To pay for the skins, it's $1,700 to get all the skins needed. Like to me, I don't know. I would rather pay $60 for. I would rather. Well, listen, I would rather pay $60 for a game and have the skins in there or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, you know, Xbox. When it comes down to is I can go get a steak at Golden Corral, right?
Here we go.
I can.
Here we go.
I'd rather go to a steakhouse and pay for that. Like 30.
It's got to be your bowl.
Like when it's your event, right? It's your event. It's your anniversary, a birthday, whatever it is. I still want to go to that steakhouse and get that $35 aged steak that's been tenderized and taken care of. I know I can go get steak that's just on a buffet. My point being is right now for 99 cents, okay? People are like, Mooch, stop complaining. It was 99 cents. It's like when you get that tough steak at Golden Corral. My point being is that at this point in the matter, is the coalition any different than the people that make Ori or the folks that make any other game? No, because the point of the matter is when there's an issue, everyone's like, it was 99 cents. Mooch, don't get upset at that.
I'm not saying
Chuck Eyes steak at Golden Corral.
But brother, I'm not saying about the whole 99 cents thing. I'm not saying that at all.
Xbox, you say it all the time. Bring the same energy. What I'm saying to you right now is this is the creme de la creme of Xbox Studios. Yeah. There's a lot of talk that the coalition has.
They got Turn 10. They got 343. They got a lot of.
Well, before you keep going on that list, the coalition's right there.
Whoa! Let's not get crazy because I mean, listen, they got a couple of cover bands and a good car racing studio. Let's not act like you know.
Good. Is that what you have just downplayed? Turn 10, the number one racing developer right now, and you just said a good racing studio.
Well, listen, they're clearly having issues.
Watch out! That karma is about to come right around.
Listen, they've clearly had issues with their last Forza Motorsport game, which is why they're having
one game.
That only sold 1.5 million, whereas GT Sports sold over 8 million, still going.
Like that, they marketed like even though people say Sony doesn't have online games, that was an esport online game.
Exactly.
So and so I guess like that was their market for it, and they did something different. So like they get props for doing that. When it comes to Forza Motorsport 7, I thought that was a step back. I mean, they were doing some cool things, but it's like the boxes, even though they aren't paid loot boxes, like what the hell were they thinking with that stuff?
Crap. Here's the problem with racers, right? With simulation racers. Every year, right? Manufacturers don't drop a different car. It's just a different year. So from year to year, if you're dropping the same simulation racer, Toyota, the same camera you had last year, guess what? That's going to be the same car you have in this game. So what can you do in simulation racing?
Nah, man, they come out like dude,
racing, right? There is nothing else to add in the game. There is nothing else, and that's why for the motorsports fail to reach
No, what happened? What's happening with motorsport?
Whereas that's what happened when you crank these games out every year, every other year. Whereas
what's happening with motorsport is
they crank them out every 4 to 5
Horizon
years,
opens up to a broader demographic right there. So under Turn 10, and yes, Playground does make Horizon, but under Turn 10, all right, they go back and forth. Motorsport 1 year, Horizon the next.
Yeah,
but
that's still
caters to a wider base.
Think about it. Right, you're talking to the ultimate racing guy here, right?
Dude, what I heard you just say about cars, I'm questioning that.
Brother. No, I'm just saying. So
Tell that to Corvette this year. With
I don't want a
mid-engine
Gran
Corvette.
Turismo
Oh,
every
go
year,
ahead, man.
every other year, because there is after you have the tracks in there, after you have the cars in there, there is nothing else you can do with simulation racing. That's just what it is.
I mean, I feel the same way as Jay, but I do understand Xbox a car enthusiast. I'm not. I mean, I love a quality car, but I do think that there should be a break. I mean, the fact that we were like Forza, like every Horizon Motorsport, Motorsport. It was. I said that me and Crap got into a huge discussion about it 2-3 years ago. And Crap, he didn't agree with me at first.
I didn't at the time. You know why? Because I was all in on, man,
Right.
I love that Forza. I love that Forza
keep it
every
coming.
year.
Right.
I love that Gears every couple years. I like that Halo every few years.
No,
And now
take 6 years off. Now that Gear 5 is out, Gear 6 should come out at the end of Scarlet. Let the Coalition make a new IP. Let them go out there
that's
and
exactly
spread
the
the
point
creative
I said.
wings.
I was like, look, you have Gears 5, right? People like that game.
Yeah.
They're hungry for it. They ended on a high note. Make a new IP for next generation, and then end next generation with Gears 6. You know what I mean? By then, people will want it. You know, you wait 5 years or 6 years, whatever. And I think that would be the best thing that they could do, in my opinion. You know, go ahead.
I want to say this one thing too. Also, guys, come on, let's keep it real. We are not going to try to compare a simulation racer to a open world arcade racer. That makes no sense. Turn 10 makes a track-based simulation racer called Forza Motorsport. Sony does with Gran Turismo. Let's compare those two. Trying to compare oval track racer
Sony doesn't
to a
have
wide open world.
Sony doesn't have an open world racer.
Yeah, they don't, because the best ones are multiplayer.
That is siphoning the gamers that would normally get really excited for motorsport, but now they have another option that is pretty much unique to the Xbox platform right there.
Well, you got to think about it, right? I mean, you hit the nitrous button.
We do got to think about it, Jay. We do got to think about it.
There's only so many games you can make in that same genre. I mean, Ubisoft makes that one racing game that kind of does something similar, right? That's again, that it makes no sense. Right. And then you're cranking this thing out every year or every other year. You're releasing the DLC, which basically Forza Motorsports 4, Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 3, basically that could have been a patch. They could have took the DLC, all the freaking Hot Wheels and all that stuff, and they could have just did that. But, I get it. You like it, that's good. But a lot of people are trying to compare Forza Motorsports Forza Horizon to Gran Turismo, because they don't want to make a comparison that would make sense, which is Motorsports compared to Gran Turismo, which is both in the same category. So why are we not comparing Forza Motorsports 7 to Gran Turismo Sport if you want to do that? That's like me trying
all I'm saying is that there is an extra, brother. All I said is there is an extra thing happening on Xbox's side that is not happening on PlayStation side. And you also, if you say we got to think about it, we got to think about that as well.
Well, listen. I can say the same thing. I can say the same thing with MLB baseball, right? PlayStation fans have a whole sport to themselves that Xbox refuses to offer, if that's the case. But if you're a racer and you like racing, right? There are racing games on PlayStation that they offer. So you're not really missing much. But I'm just saying, people will discard and act like Forza Motorsport 7 never happened, and that's crazy to act like that game never happened. Yeah,
no,
sure.
I never said it never happened.
You still gotta keep the same energy, same game, same competition.
Oh wait. Yeah, I'm not saying that Forza Motorsport 7 never happened, but you do got to look at it with common sense, and you got to look at the landscape and what's going on Xbox's side that is not going on PlayStation side. PlayStation does not have a first-party open world racer that, guess what, did take gamers that would normally just set up and get ready for motorsport over to that, and they're like, you know what, we're having more fun here. Why get anything else? Why go back to the closed circuit? There's going to be a demographic that breaks off and does that.
To tell you the truth, when you have 8 million people, that 8 million plus people that spend $60 for a game, you might not miss much, right, in that arcade realm.
That's true. I mean, you know what? Like, if you think about it, okay, and there are other games, but again, I like the Horizon series that Microsoft has, but I'm extremely happy that they're taking an extended break. You know what I mean, Xbox? Like if you think about
I agree with you.
Like if you think about it.
Well, it has me excited because when you look at it, you know, throughout the history of Forza, whenever they come out with new hardware, what is usually the game that, you know, graphically, it's like, oh my goodness. At least I'm a car guy, though. You know what I'm saying? I love cars. Somebody came into the vape shop today and was showing me pictures of their original Shelby. And dude, I absolutely love vehicles. So that's usually the first game when they come out with new hardware that I look at. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited in that way.
Look at it this way, Xbot. I think if we all just take a step back and take a breather right now, all of us, myself included, and we just look at the games that we're talking about: MLB The Show, Madden, Forza Motorsport, GT Sport. I think all of us as a whole, if we stop and don't get your emotions tied up into the chat. And chat, this goes for the chat as well. Don't get your emotions tied up in this. Take a step back and look at it this way. Because someone named Jameson in the chat was like, Mooch, show the same energy for, I say it all the time, baseball's my favorite sport. But yet I never buy MLB The Show. Because to me, it's
not true. We bought it once.
I bought it.
We both played it for a little bit.
I bought it once this generation.
And we were like,
and I returned it 30 days later.
Yeah.
I tried to get as much as the minute I got that email we all get from GameStop, like, you own a game that gives you this. I was like, and trade it in. Like, I love baseball.
It's a good game, but baseball games are boring.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Because MLB The Show is only with PlayStation, because Madden has no competition, because Forza comes out every year, okay, it gets to a point where it gets redundant and it's boring. And nobody likes to talk about it because they're like, no, I love it. Stop it. All I'm asking everybody, take a breather, realize even if you're buying Forza every year, even if you're buying Madden every year, even if you're buying NBA 2K every year, and don't get me wrong, that is the best basketball game out there. But every
NBA
year,
2K every 2 years, man. I do not fall for that.
Next month, then you can tell the truth and say that every single year it comes out, it's always broken. So every year.
Yeah.
So my point being is let's just take a break here and understand that this is what I said to Crap 3 years ago, but it's coming to fruition today. Give these teams some time to make some changes, to make some quality changes. Listen to their audience. Make something different in the game. NBA 2K comes out every year, and it's the same game with a new roster. Madden's the same, okay? And MLB The Show, we all say it's the most beautiful, unbelievable, touchless game in baseball. It's the only game in baseball. So, like, it just gets repetitive and boring. It's so boring, and I love baseball. You have no idea how much I love baseball. So the other thing is that we're sitting here and we're critiquing things, right? And you have Xbot and you have Dirt doing the good fight, which, you know, I've been there. Believe me, you have no idea. Like, I feel like I was the guy. Like, I'm literally, okay, Apollo Creed. I'm Creed. I was in the ring fighting, and now I'm on the outside being like, let's go, Rock! Let's go! Something to jab, Rock! You know what I mean? Like, I'm there with you guys. I hear you. But at the same time, you have to understand something. Like, in all essence, like, right now, Xbox is not doing the right things to move forward and putting their best foot forward. And that's what concerns a lot of people out there. Like, I'm a Met fan, okay? And the fact that I'm a Met fan, Xbox, me and you do this all the time. Xbox 448 and Mooch, we both critique and make fun of the Mets all the time. Because we're like, damn it, we thought we'd be good. We thought we could do this. We thought
You're
we'd
also
do
a
that.
Giants fan.
Right? Oh. But right, exactly. We both are. Exactly. So nobody says, hey, Mooch, stop talking about the Mets like that. How dare you say that about the Mets? Nobody says that. You know what people usually say? Hey, you're spot on, Mooch. You're spot on. What we're doing, right? So what we're doing here is we're doing constructive criticism towards Xbox, okay, to get better. So when people are like, why do you bring this?
Deal, brother. Here's the deal. When it comes to the Mets, I'm not going up every single day. And even if they have like a good game or they have a good run or anything like that, and just pointing out, well, you know what, their bullpen still sucks. And
then apparently you don't watch again. Then you don't listen to New York. Whoa. Then you don't listen to New York radio or SNY.
No, I don't.
Because that's all they do all day.
Yeah, but I don't do that.
And they're paid by the Mets. and they still rack up.
Again, Mets should pay me now too. Then
absolutely,
Xbox should pay me.
Go ahead, Dirt.
I should be getting checks.
I got a question. Now, you said that you just still feel like Xbox is not improving. I have a question. Like, over the years, you know, you guys, I remember saying, you know, like guys saying Xbox don't have enough studios. They kind of fixed that.
They got studios,
Xbox,
but they weren't good enough.
Unproven
Xbox,
studios, but go ahead.
Some of them are very unproven.
Unproven.
They're unproven.
Double A
But
indie.
some are
So
proven.
how can you walk around marching being like, we got studios, we got studios? You don't know what they're gonna do yet, Dirt.
Some are unproven, but some are proven.
Who?
Obsidian has made games for years.
Okay, next, who else?
Legendary has made games for years.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Oh my God.
Ninja Theory made. Listen,
Lower
wait a
expectations.
minute. Wait a
Lower
minute.
expectations.
Wait, Dirt. Wait. Listen, Dirt asked a reasonable question. I have to answer this question. Dirt, if I'm a lawyer, okay, in a court of law, and I'm defending Ninja Theory, do you want me to go up against Sony's artillery with Hellblade?
No,
Is that what you want me to do?
No.
Is that what you want me to do? You gotta give me weapons. Is that what you want? Give me weapons.
Right?
What do you want me to do?
Hold on. No. Moves. We went from Xbox has no studio. They have 8 studios, but they're not proven.
Listen, Dirt, you are by far you are one of the best people to mix and mangle words I've ever podcasted with. Listen, the fact when we say they don't have when we say Xbox, when we say they don't have studios, they go and get Compulsion Games. They go and get N-Exile. When we say, hey, it's been
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory's got Hellblade.
Yeah,
okay?
And everybody
and Bleeding Edge.
Sony just bought Insomniac Games.
When Sony goes and buys a studio, they buy Insomniac, Dirt.
Remedy.
Sony, man.
Dirt.
They didn't buy Remedy.
Right now, you say
not yet.
Xbox
maybe. You say
we'll talk about it when it happens, okay?
Dirt, you saying Ninja Theory
all of their studios. You are downplaying all of their studios.
No. You're upselling.
Ignore DMC.
You're upselling.
Ignore Enslaved. You ignore.
Are you upselling?
Those are 15-year-old games. Come on, Dirt.
Dirt. If I'm downgrading, then you're upselling.
He said their pedigree. Right? Okay, you just told me Death Stranding is
not the same.
If you tell me a studio made Devil May Cry 1, well, you do know they made
Devil May Cry 1. There's probably 3 people there from that time.
That's not the same studio.
That's not the same studio, Dirt.
It was in the glory days.
Come on, Dirt.
That's why Microsoft bought them for like
same head.
12 pack of beer and a pack of bubble gum.
Pack of bubble gum.
Listen, crap. Dirt just sent me into the law room. He just sent me into the courtroom with my cousin Vinny as my only attorney. Listen, I got news for you right now. The 2 Utes, listen to me real quick, okay? You sent me in there. You sent me in there with Hellblade and a 20-year-old Devil May Cry. Come on, Dirt.
I'm not saying they're going to be
better
than Naughty Dog. I never said that. I'm saying you're discrediting them.
Who?
All of their studios, Obsidian, Ninja Theory, you're discrediting them.
I love how you keep saying Obsidian and Ninja Theory, and then you won't mention the other 8 they bought because they are not.
He doesn't mention the other ones.
All of their studios did nothing. I'm trying to tell you, 2 of their studios have done something. Now I can't vouch for.
I think about 8 people.
Or you mean Bart's Tale 4 isn't the shit?
No, it's not. I can't vouch for those guys, right? I can't vouch for N-Exile or Double Fine, even though I did like Psychonauts, the original Psychonauts.
I think 8 people finished We Happy Few.
Yeah, I can't vouch for the
yeah, but that's right. But there you go. Dirt, that's what this is what. Dirt, you keep playing the shell game with words, okay? You just said what I said. You just said what I said, and then you come back with, come on, Mooch Obsidian. Okay, I get it. I'll give you Obsidian.
Who's this nigga to say I like Aaron Hall? Hey, man, let me tell you something.
You're playing the shell game.
Hey,
he's with your words around. We just had Compulsion. He goes, I'm with you. We just had N-Exile. He's like, I'm with you. Bart's Tale, I'm with you. How about Obsidian?
2 specific studios. I said Obsidian and Ninja Theory. Those are the 2 I mentioned. That's who I'm talking about. I can't vouch for the other ones.
Dirt, Obsidian is making a game that's on PlayStation coming out next year, or this year, pardon me. So my point being is, right, so we can't even use Obsidian for another 3 years.
Yeah, I know, because it takes their whole team to develop one.
Hey, listen,
making a multi-party studio now.
Their own studio had 98% of their studio is working on Outer Worlds and Outer Worlds content.
Okay,
so
it's still first-party studio crap.
It is, but I mean, look,
we
were talking off air. You hate the look of Outer Worlds. You're not even excited about it. Neither am I.
It looks like shit.
That's my boy Dirt right there, brother.
The defense rests his case.
I didn't like We Happy Few either, but guess what? I'm going to give them another chance.
Yeah, but I mean, what happens?
What does that mean?
Are you hoping that Outer Worlds fails? Because if it's a success, we might their next game that they start might be Outer Worlds 2, but it's exclusive.
Might and may.
Well, yeah, it might.
Might
Yeah.
and
It might be Outer Worlds.
Well, actually, the Outer Worlds is coming on the
Fallout,
Switch,
and that
so-
looks like
Man,
a Fallout
Xbox don't
game.
do sequels. Get out of here.
Hey, you're probably right.
PlayStation Studios? Do you love all of their games?
Hey, I gotta say though, I might not like all the PlayStation Studios, but
Do you love
but-
Dreams?
but do I love Dreams? Oh, of course I love Dreams. You can build anything with Dreams.
You're a damn
But-
lie.
Hey, no,
How much do you
listen,
play
listen.
Dreams?
Listen, I was a Project Spark guy. Okay.
How much do you play Dreams?
How much do I play Dreams? Well,
play
it's only
games.
in,
I don't wanna
it's
create.
only in the early access, so I played like 0 hours. But
Oh, okay,
that-
okay, but he loves
hold on.
Dreams.
hold on, that's
0 hours.
expected. Hey, listen, that's expected to shoot up anytime now. Okay, listen, I'm telling you, man, that game. Listen, I'm not that game. Like, I'm gonna play other people's creations when
I
that
am
game
so glad you're my
launches.
friend, brother.
Right? No,
I am.
listen, I'm gonna play other people's creations just like I did with Project Spark. I can't build my own game for shit, but I did enjoy going around there and playing other people's, and you know what I'm saying? I thought that was fun. Dreams is like that. It's not a game where I'm gonna invest a bunch of time and play, but I have seen some incredible things made with it. That's why I haven't hyped up Dreams, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I've enjoyed Insomniac Games, pretty much all their games that they put out.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed Naughty Dog's game, pretty much every game they put out, even like the Ratchet and Clank, going back to Crash. Those were some of my earliest PS1 memories. You know what I'm saying? So
Crash,
Come on,
man.
wait,
Mooch, I told you that.
Naughty
Crash,
Dog
man.
game, Where the Warrior? How good was that game? Way back in the day on the 3DO.
I don't even remember that game, to be honest with you.
Again, listen, we're talking about this generation, right? We're talking about this generation.
Naughty Dog started somewhere. Let Microsoft Studios
That's
start.
throughout the
30
generation,
years ago.
man.
Come on, like
Hey,
Hey, that's throughout the generations with
Insane.
Naughty Dog. What are you talking about, Jay?
Y'all
come
out.
on, like
Y'all out of line.
you're reaching, right?
That
No,
was
he
reaching
said-
free.
he said
You
you
have
said
to
that.
understand, it's sad. You have to reach back
stretch.
20 to 30 years to
Mooch,
find
yeah, you're out of
a
line.
game-
Tonight. Yes,
a
that
game
was a
point
reason
where
y'all out
the
of line
studio
tonight.
didn't make a great game.
But my point is, these studios, okay, yeah, but
But
They
so
started
Dirt, you're
somewhere.
telling me,
There's
Dirt, you're telling me
somewhere.
you're gonna buy another $500, $600 console in hopes that in 5 to 6 years you're willing to give them more
I think
time.
he's
and hope.
gonna
Hey,
see
Dirt.
something- I think he's
No,
gonna
no, no.
see something
Hey,
called
Dirt.
a launch
Like,
lineup.
Crazy.
Dirt,
I
you've seen
think he's gonna see something called a launch
Okay, let me ask you
lineup.
this.
for the new-
Y'all
Yes,
always
he's
do
gonna,
hardware.
he's gonna see
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Halo, right? We're gonna
Like,
get Halo. We're gonna get Halo. We're gonna
We'll
get
see.
Forza, right?
Well, let
Halo
me
gives
ask
them
this.
Forza. We're gonna get those things.
Let me
We're
ask
not getting Forza.
Every
We're
time
gonna get
we're
bleeding edge.
Hold on. Every
Brother,
time
Jay,
we're
we're
Then
not
we're gonna
getting
get what?
Forza as a
Hold on,
launch.
Let him talk.
every time we're talking about these consoles, y'all just say, why are you going to get this, Dirt? They don't have this, they don't have that. Then I say I like the ecosystem, but y'all say, why? Let me ask you guys something. Let me ask Moose specifically. Moose, you're an Apple guy, right?
absolutely.
He loves
How do
Apple.
How do you prefer
I miss
Apple?
you, Steve Jobs.
How
Go
do you
ahead.
prefer Apple over like Samsung Galaxies?
Easy.
It's a better made quality product.
Oh,
But
that's like the
pretty
Xbox
much
One
the
X.
same. Right, 'cause they pretty much do
all
the
your
same
data
shit.
syncs
You know that,
across
right?
your
They pretty much
iPad,
do the same
your
shit.
Macs.
Why do you
Think
prefer
across
Apple?
all
You get listen.
I'm
Dirt,
talking to
Dirt,
you,
Dirt,
Jay.
you're
Okay.
breaking cardinal rule number one. We literally. I know you're new to the podcast, but hear me out real quick, right?
Yeah.
What?
Here's the deal. There's no correlation between the phone and the network you use. We're not sitting here yelling about Verizon and AT&T.
Yeah.
Okay. So my point is, there's nothing that Apple versus Samsung
I'm
is the
expecting-
difference between having the platforms of Xbox and PlayStation.
I'm
It's-
expecting you to say you prefer iOS, right? Their ecosystem. That's
I
what
do.
Right. Okay, because if you want to be honest, because my work phone,
I do.
iPhone, my personal phone is the
Absolutely. I'll buy that. Yeah.
Same. They do the same shit, just differently, right? For the most part, right?
But that's not the case when it comes to consoles, because when I get on, I don't care what the UI looks like. I care about what the games
Okay,
are.
well, I
So do
care
you.
about both. I care about both.
Well, listen.
But if
Dirt
you
said-
ask me,
basically,
why do
Dirt
you
said he
prefer
doesn't care
to play
about the games.
multiplayer on the
He cares
Xbox?
about everything else.
No,
That's basically what he
Jay,
just
Yeah,
said.
Dirt,
I'm
you're
talking
telling me
If you-
go ahead, Dirt.
If you ask me, why do you prefer to play multiplayer on the Xbox over
Yes.
the PlayStation? I say because I prefer the ecosystem, right?
Okay.
So they always want to bring up, are you going to buy another $500, $600 console? The same shit he said every podcast. If I prefer Xbox, I prefer Xbox.
That's right. That's
the
right.
Games are okay. It's clear as day. The games aren't as good as Sony's right now. But me personally, I believe they might not never be as good as Sony, but they're going to be good for me.
Dirt, can I do you? And I appreciate. Listen, let me just say this real quick because I want to answer Dirt real quick.
You can hardly wait for State of Decay 3, right?
I like State of Decay 2, crap.
Oh, boo.
Dirt, listen, and I can't talk
Boo
about
this
listen,
man.
You
Sorry,
like State of
I
Decay
did jump in
2?
there.
No, listen,
Man.
I'm not. No, that's his right.
But someone pissed in the Cheerios. You lose 100 food.
But hear me out. What I'm saying to you is this, okay? Let's put both of our feelings aside. State of Decay 2 came out broken.
Yes, it did.
Gears 5 came out broken.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's two very opposite ends of the spectrum when you're talking about Microsoft-owned developers. Okay? Will you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you told me the upper echelon released a game that was broken. The lower, which the lower gets a little bit more slack, I'm with you. What I'm saying to you right now is, from what I'm seeing moving forward, I'm seeing a company that has leadership that doesn't know how to put their foot on the pedal. They say there's no crunch. You see, all we ever see out of these studios is dinners, drinks, and escargot. Okay?
Every day's a party.
And now all I hear from, and don't get me wrong, I'm there with you. We all have it. But now all I'm hearing from everybody is, Mooch, for 99 cents, let's let them go. Okay, so what I'm trying to say to you is when you turn to me and say, Mooch, why can't you be positive about the future of the companies that they picked up? What I'm saying to you is, how can I, when I see leadership that's letting their top pedigree team in the coalition release a broken game, okay, and then you have as low as you go the Undead Labs folks that are saying, and that's a game that you like, Dirt, I'm not going to sit here and say one word about it. If you like it, you like it. Listen, I like the Mets, and that's a problem, okay? So what I'm saying to you is I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. You're not wrong. But what I'm saying is you can't sit here and question Xbox fans for starting to look at the future with their heads slightly tilted 45 degrees like, maybe this group of people in leadership, some of them got to go. Okay. And that's where it stems from. And you can sit there and you can make all the great, it's a great value. You can't beat the value. Listen, no kidding, right? I mean, you can go ahead and get that steak at that $35 steakhouse. $35 for a steak's a lot of money, no doubt, right? You can go get a hamburger for 99 cents at McDonald's. We know that. But the point of the matter is what is it you want? Do you want the quality? I have no problem paying $60 plus respected tax in your respected state, okay, for a $60 banger, like people always say. That's an amazing game versus 99 cents, and I can't progress through Act 2, but I'll deal with it because it was on the value menu. You know, I mean, my point being is that's the issue at hand right now. This is not a discussion. And when people, and Xbox makes a good point. Xbox is like, why do we get on and talk about it all the time? Listen, this is a talk show about video games. Okay, just like there's talk shows about movies.
You're using one of the high points going on Xbox's platform right now to basically go in and shit on the platform.
So I broke the game.
No, I'm not saying that though. But with all that being said,
there's a guy right now. Listen, there's a guy on SNY right now.
That is the number one game being played on the platform.
Guy on SNY right now.
That's a success.
Sports New York, he's eating a sausage and pepper sandwich right now, and he's making fun of Pete Alfonso right now for not hitting enough home runs this year, or making fun of Jacob deGrom, who was the NL Cy Young winner last year. He's eating a sausage and pepper sandwich right now on a couch, right? Why is it that he gets to go and do that? This is a talk show about games, Xbot. So what I'm saying to you right now is this is a discussion on what the future is, and when you see the top pedigree team coming out of Xbox launching a game that's broken for the first weekend, and people paid $100 for it, on the Ultimate, if they bought the Ultimate Edition, not Ultimate Game Pass, Ultimate Edition, okay? That's not you can't defend that.
Hey, let me pay a bill real quick.
Hey, hold on. I tweeted him real quick. That's all I wanted to tell him.
Let me pay this real quick. Top Dog 2K17 says the big difference between Sony and Microsoft is Microsoft doesn't have their version of a Mark Cerny. He was one of the main. Who was one of the main person that made Sony's first-party studio successful since the PS1. He does have his hand in a lot of stuff. So, I mean, you could say, if you look at on the Xbox side, they haven't had anybody that's stuck around You know what I mean? Like they've had different heads of Xbox. How many heads of Xboxes have they had
50.
since their inception? Yeah, like how many heads of studios have they had? Like who's even in? You know what I'm saying? Like who's running what? We don't even. They got a studio that's not even making games, but supervising other studios making games, right? Like they make no sense sometimes, and I think exactly. Listen, that is probably part of the reason why Sony has that stability there. And listen, I do think I wanted to talk a little bit about this because analysts are saying that the sales of Gears of War 5, this might be the first game that Microsoft has where the sales are cannibalized by Game Pass itself, by everybody, you know, spending that, you know, because the Ultimate Edition is the one that is the most played or whatever. So that means to me that people paid that $1 to upgrade to that Ultimate Edition thing. And I even see it across my feed on different feeds. People are like trying out Gears for that $1. You know what I mean? So, and I guess like maybe that's what Microsoft wants, but at the end of the day,
that's exactly what they want.
Would Microsoft rather have 10 million people? Do you think Microsoft would rather have 15 million people buy Gears of War,
Absolutely.
or would they rather have, you know,
Absolutely.
8 million people playing it on Game Pass?
Right.
Which one?
And that was the numbers that we put out a few weeks ago. It said even if we're playing in favor of Xbox, and we say Xbox has 40 or 45 million consoles out there, let's just say use that number if you guys will agree with that. And then you say, okay, let's give the benefit of the doubt here. Let's say 10 million people have Game Pass. Majority of those 10 million people bought it for 99 cents. The rest bought it for $10 or a month, which very few did that. Or they bought it for the $3, $2 sales they've had throughout the years, okay? So what I'm trying to say to you is that even if they're making, these are just easy numbers, okay? $1 for $45 million, if it was $60 and this game was unbelievable and the game was moving, they would make a lot more money on Gears 5 without Game Pass. Now, of course, Game Pass is there for the future. That you can't think about one game. I understand.
Yeah, you see what EA is doing right now. They are setting everything up for what is going to happen in the future. So everybody's talking. That 99 cents thing needs to go away because guess what?
Xbox, once it goes away, your numbers are about to drop.
Big time.
Well, what they should have did was they should have did like EA does and do like a 10-hour trial.
Yep.
And that would have got people interested in the game just enough to not beat it in 3 days.
Fred, does anybody else see this? I'm seeing it more and more on Twitter. You guys tell me what you guys think. And I'm talking about the gaming community. I'm seeing more and more people start to complain, not Game Pass, monthly subscriptions. People are starting to complain about it, right?
There's too many of them.
Wait, Apple just came out yesterday and they're like $5 for Apple TV, $5 for Apple Arcade. And then you've got Disney Plus, $12.99, Netflix, $12.99. Now $9.99 for Game Pass.
Hey, let me pay another bill.
Like
people are getting tired of this.
Let me pay another bill real quick. Eliminator 809 says you want Xbox to be great again. Fire, fail, spendless Phil Spencer, and hire back Peter Moore and give him complete control of money. I love Peter Moore's. Man, that man got a tattoo.
Hey, man, Peter Moore was good. He
was. But I mean. What do you guys think about this? Because I was seeing analysts talking on Twitter. I like seeing them talk about this kind of stuff because somebody was like, well, don't you see that maybe Sony and Nintendo are going to have to copy Microsoft's Game Pass strategy? And the analysts are like, hell no. They see way too. No. Listen, I'm telling you what these analysts are saying. They're saying there's no need to because they sell so many. Yeah, they sell so many copies of these things.
Dude, Michael Pachter is labeled an analyst as well, and look how right he's been. So I'm just saying.
Jay, tell Crab what David Jaffe said when you guys asked him that same question.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, I remember. Damn it.
Yeah.
I don't. What did he say?
He said once Microsoft like their first party games start to come out and. They said Sony have to answer that. He said Sony has to answer that.
He thought that Sony would have to have an answer for that, which, right, they could always use what they normally do, which is they already have PlayStation now. Obviously, they're working on expanding.
But will they put their games in there, though?
David Jeffrey, right, you got to realize the games, if you watch the games that he play in the games, they're not the games that we play. They're totally the opposite.
The dude made the first God of War, Jay. Come on now.
That was 20, 30 years ago. You
Man,
know,
wait,
Yeah,
he
but he still did it.
He said 30 years ago.
well, I like David.
What do you
Craig.
mean?
No,
Like,
no,
God of War back in
no,
'89, man.
The founding
Hey,
fathers of
I
the
do
country
not buy
signed
a
the
game
Declaration of
based
Independence, and
on
that was
his.
a long time ago too.
I think Dirt's doing this podcast from the hot tub time machine. I'm not sure.
Well, listen. Here's the thing. Here's the reason why.
No,
I'm not-
Jay said 30 years ago, God.
I just saw a
30
funny.
years
I just
ago,
saw a
30
funny
years ago.
comment. I can't hold on. Let me compose myself. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say this: there is no need for that because Sony, they're selling. You know, the next God of War is going to sell another 15 million copies. The Last of Us 2 is going to sell 15, 20 million
The
copies.
Last of Us
Absolutely.
2 is stopping like traffic lights. I mean,
And look, they have games. I remember when Halo used to be that big, where they would have their own event.
remember
Like,
those videos where people were lined up around the corner in
Yeah.
Times Square?
Sony and now
Ain't
what did
happening
Sony
next
do?
year for Halo Infinite.
The day Gears 5 actually officially comes out, Sony's like, we'd like to invite you to a press event for The Last of Us Part 2. Like they get their own freaking press event. Like holy crap, that's how you
And
know.
that didn't do anything.
Are you kidding me?
It
It was trending.
It
Everybody
didn't.
was talking about
That
it.
shit was not trending, crap.
Oh man, trending like crazy. Dirt, come on, man.
It wasn't trending, brother.
Oh man, it was trending, dude.
No,
Everybody was
I'm a
talking
big
about
fan
it.
of The Last of Us, bro. So I'm actually hyped about that news, actually.
Of course, man. Everybody's a fan. It's like it's quality. When Naughty Dog does something, it's like being around to watch Michael Jordan play, or like Joe Montana.
Don't you dare compare that.
Oh, for sure, dude. Naughty Dog,
dude,
Xbox,
you're not even a Michael Jordan
Naughty
fan.
Dog has.
MJ.
They're the top tier developer. They're the number one
They are.
developer.
They
They
are.
are. There's
They are.
no denying
Naughty
that
Dog
they
and
are.
Rockstar.
Yeah,
Like
they're
Naughty Dog and Rockstar. Those are the
sure,
top.
exactly, man. Like when they do something, people pay attention. And here's the thing, where Jaffe is wrong. Like Jaffe is funny because he says stuff to say stuff, and I like that. But when it comes to Microsoft, why wouldn't Sony have to answer when, to be honest with you, it seems like the best the coalition could do was an 85 rated game. It's not even going to be in the running for Game of the Year. Nobody's gonna. It's not. Well, dude, I know you like to do that, but a lot of these developers have their contracts tied to getting a certain score. Okay, meaning they get bonuses and they're striving for a good score.
Well, I'm glad you changed it from most to some like that.
Well, of course, I would assume that a lot of Microsofts do. Like they do internal stuff.
That would be assuming, and I don't really. I won't go out on that.
Well, I mean, listen. I listen to a lot of podcasts. There's one in particular. I listened to the Colin Moriarty one. He said that internally, Sony had Days Gone at a much higher rated, like over 80 Metacritic. And then maybe they had some bonuses tied to that or something like that. But again, on Sony for not having that patch ready day one, that's their fault.
I can see that with a new development team and stuff like that, and they're kind of reaching out there and making a game that is kind of like swinging for the fences. I can see them having initiatives in that kind of area. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, it's just one of those things. So anyway, I just feel like that's what people like a lot of, and you don't think that these developers want a high Metascore, Xbot?
I think the developers want a lot of people playing the game, and a lot of people either buying or going into.
Well, do people that do movies? Do they want people to watch their movies? Do they? You know what I'm saying? Do they want to win awards?
You really can't bring movies into that because there was a bunch of movies that got really low, like Rotten Tomato scores and stuff like that. But a ton of people went to go watch it. Watched them multiple times and stuff like that. You really can't use that.
Actors don't care about awards, though, right?
For their portfolio in the long run, yeah.
Portfolio. Oh man, come on, dude! Like when Leonardo DiCaprio finally won one, dude, everybody's like, "Yeah, he's been wanting one forever." He takes these roles specifically to win awards, right? Like he did The Departed. People thought he should have won awards. It's like these studios want that.
You're a DiCaprio fan, brother.
Oh, dude, I'm a vast knowledge of pop culture. So anyway, what I'm saying is these studios want that recognition. They want to do good stuff. So far in a lot of Microsoft's games this generation, I almost get they're doing it for a paycheck or something, right? They're not quality. The presentation isn't there. The quality isn't there. Yeah. They didn't do their best work. I'm hoping that going forward they do, but still. There's no need for Sony or Nintendo specifically. Nintendo sells like 20 million freaking copies of everything. There is no need to sell a service for $1 the way that Microsoft. I get what Microsoft is trying to do because they're trying to like help shift that trend. But I'm just saying
I will never try to predict any move from Nintendo. I think that is the smartest thing. You never know what the hell. They got like a giant-sized Uber ring that they're about to freaking like sell to people and stuff like that.
Nine Lives goes, yeah, that's why Forbes did an article on Gears 5. How many articles does Forbes do on Xbox that were bad? Yeah. Like, and I know it. Like, this is the thing that annoys me, and we can talk about this a little bit too. People, I know I get called a flip-flop, but everybody flip-flops because you think about it. They hate Forbes when they're like, Xbox really stinks and PlayStation's great. And they're like, boo, Forbes. And then Forbes comes out and goes, Gears of War 5 is the answer to Uncharted, right? And then they're like, yay, Forbes. Okay, everybody hated Digital Foundry. Everybody hated Digital Foundry.
We're all hypocrites,
I'm gonna take
exactly
because I haven't spun that at all, brother.
Craps is right. 3 weeks ago, Digital Foundry was called Pony Foundry, and all of a sudden now they're credible, right? It's the same thing.
We're all hypocrites, Jay.
MPD. Nobody cares about MPD.
Jay, we're all hypocrites. You guys used to love Digital Foundry. Now we got guys doing videos saying they're frauds. So come on, man, we're all hypocrites.
Listen. Digital Foundry praised Gears of War 5. I felt bad for the guy, right, John or whatever. That guy seems like that guy's on his last like leg or something. I don't know. Like, it's not a good look for fans though, for gamers, because this guy, something happens to this guy, and then it's gonna look bad on all gamers, like bullying this guy or something. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, just let the guy alone. It's like when he was saying that, I think he was the one that said Horizon Zero Dawn was like the biggest achievement in a console gaming or whatever. Everybody loved it. You know what I'm saying? Now he's like, Gears is great, and everybody hates the guy. So it's just like, for me personally, it's a good looking game, but it's not that serious where people should like freak out. Look, games should look better on the X, right? Hell, it's been 2 years, and we finally get one that you can say actually stands a chance next to some of these PlayStation exclusives, which is much less powerful. It should be like that. Every game should look better on the X.
We should. I'm sorry, Crap.
No, are you driving in a car or something, Dirt?
That's not me.
Okay. I heard that too, man.
Hey, hit the like button. Let's go to 200 likes, man. Over 500 watching still. Can't we get to 200 likes? I would appreciate that.
Oh, dude, I forgot to slap that thumbs up.
Yeah, hit that thumbs up, man.
I did it, man.
Do it.
We shouldn't. It's at the point now where we shouldn't be surprised about hypocrisy from any side, from Xbox guys, from PlayStation guys. It's been going on all generation. Crab, the beginning is about power, now it's not about power. And Xbox guys is about games. Now it's not about games.
How about the flip-flopping? Gamers are entitled. We're the consumer. You can do whatever you want. But how about the flip-flopping going on from the corporations?
Yeah.
How about Microsoft flip-flopping from 2013 till today?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything they said we were going to have and enjoy, like with Snap, right? And they went and bought the rights to Rise. They bought the rights to Titanfall. And now, no more doing that. All that's out the window. How about them, Dirt?
Yeah.
So wait, what I'm asking you, and I said this before, if they can change, why can't the consumer change?
You can change.
Yeah, but Crap, I don't want to say that analogy. I'm serious.
I'm just saying we're all hypocrites. I'm not saying nobody's wrong or this.
No.
So everybody's hypocrite.
Listen, when I was younger, I didn't like the Burger King Whopper. I thought that was terrible. I thought McDonald's had the best fries. I don't feel that way no more. I think Burger King's got a better burger and a better fry. Am I crazy?
So you're comparing change to hypocrisy? Those are
obviously two different things. Everybody within a decade has changed their mind on something. I know people that loved Apple products went to Samsung. I know some people, everybody put your seatbelt on.
We're smart.
Went from Samsung to Apple. I mean, listen, my point being is like, that's not a problem. I know people that said they never play on PC that only play on PC. So what I'm trying to say to you is that it's not about flip-flopping and this and that. This is a different era we're going into. Right now, you're looking at it as a consumer. We're saying, listen, we just all bought PS4 Pros, and we all just bought the Xbox One X 2 years ago, okay, for $400 and $500 respectively. And now that both these companies want us to go out there and spend another $500 a box, hypothetically, right? Whether it be $1 more, $1 less, that's up to be seen. But my point is, where do I?
Though. iPhone just announced some new phones. Do you have to go buy those?
I'm getting a new phone.
Okay, well, if you want it, you go get it, right?
Listen, I've been saying that for a long time.
What did Apple do to convince you to buy the iPhone 11? What did they do to convince you? Because you guys say a lot.
Well, believe it or not, here it is, the iPhone 11, and Mooch is like, sold.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
right.
much.
So
Pretty much,
with me,
nothing,
I'm like, oh, the
nothing
new
at all
Xbox.
like that. But
I'm like, so the new Xbox. I'm like, so
that's fine.
So-
Me too. I'm buying it too. But you don't understand something.
Yeah.
Dirt, when we have this conversation, again, I say this all the time, but people, oh, Mooch is talking sense. Let me plug my ears real quick. Okay. What I'm saying is we're the hardcore. That includes you in the chat. It includes you on the panel. It includes you listening later to the show. Okay. So we're all going to buy the PS4, the PS5, pardon me, and the Scarlett. We're all doing that.
of course.
So my point being is this is not about us. These conversations are about the consumers, the gamers. That's what people are tuning in to hear this. And what I'm saying to you is moving forward, Xbox is saying that your X is going to be able to play Halo Infinite. And as far as we know, your X is doing 4K 60 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying to you is day one, Dirt, do you need, just like you just said to me with the iPhone 11, do you, what sold you on the Scarlett? If your console right now is doing 4K 60, and you can play
because
the
I'm
leaning
a
towards- what
hardcore
I'm leaning
gamer,
towards
and
with
that's the
Scarlett
next generation.
Is
That's me.
hardware accelerated ray tracing right now.
Oh,
That's what's got my interest.
Xbox. Let me tell you something.
Hardware
Xbox, that-
accelerated ray
that
tracing.
ain't- that
Hey,
I don't even have to be specific like that. I'm a
I got a-
hardcore
Battlefield,
gamer.
right?
I got a
Next
20.
Battlefield.
I got a 2080 Ti in my computer, and I got news for you right now. My PC, and I got news for you. A lot of games are having a hard time working with that. So what I'm saying to you right now is that is going to happen next generation without a doubt. It's not going to happen on
That's
day
what's going to
two.
make Halo Infinite look different from Xbox One and Scarlett. It's going to be the implementation of that. And
So
when
that
when
light
it's running-
reflecting
when
that-
it's
that
running
light,
when it's running properly, yeah, because it mimics exactly what we see in our eyes, how our eyes.
Xbox, you waited forever to buy a 4K TV, right? And you were like, I don't need that. I got 1080p and I've got all the great
I
ultra
remember that.
settings, right? All that stuff, right?
I remember
I had
that.
Bring that same
sampling,
energy.
brother.
Bring
I had
that same
super
energy,
sampling,
like
man.
you say. So you waited and you were like, I'm fine. I'm enjoying my games on my X with my 1080p TV. What I'm saying is now you're telling me you're okay spending $500 because a little bit more light's going to be on someone's helmet.
No, dude, see, this is the deal, Mooch. You are downplaying. I'm telling you, it's not about light. What it does is it mimics exactly how our eyeballs work, giving true to life, like real life graphics.
That's not worth $500, man.
Listen, I
No,
got
well, not to you,
listen,
but that's a personal thing. Like that
listen,
to me.
I use ray tracing when I'm playing Battlefield 5. You know, I got a couple of 2080.
That is one of the worst.
That's
That
no
is
lie,
one of
right?
the worst
And I'll tell you this,
implementations of ray
gonna-
tracing
to be-
that they have out there, brother.
To be honest,
Do your research.
listen. To be honest,
Do your research, man.
the game was okay.
Do your research. Worst implementation of ray tracing out
It's
there,
not
bro.
a light of day. Well, it's what Nvidia and EA showcase, and it's what people went.
Yeah, I mean,
those
you can
cards.
you can showcase a turd sandwich, but it's still a turd sandwich, man.
what are we saying to
So,
turn
Not a
in?
boo-boo sandwich.
You're saying you're gonna wait, right, and buy a Scarlet Day 1 so you can
I
play
said I am
Battletoads.
leaning towards
with
it.
ray
But see,
tracing.
my whole thing, when I buy a console, yes, I buy it for games. I also buy it for its features as well, which we have no idea what is going on with the system.
Did he say Battletoads and ray tracing?
Hey, you guys, hold on. Hardware accelerated ray tracing to play Battletoads and Bleeding Edge.
Dude, can you imagine how hard it is?
Man, you
Saturday
guys are
morning
something else
cartoons
tonight, man.
and-
Hey, listen, Moo. Like I gotta tell you this, man.
He's in
Hardware,
Battletoads and ray
like,
tracing.
listen, man. You know why I'm gonna get a PS5? Because I know that they're gonna do great stuff and come out with some really great bangers. And because they've proven that, right? They've proven that, and they always prove that every single generation. They're also supporting VR, which is something I absolutely love. Like VR. Even my fiance, she's like, hey, let's play some VR. Like, I love that. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't already want to, I love it. Like VR is so fun for me. They're taking chances with stuff. They're doing big AAA games. Like they're going to have more multiplayer. They're literally doing their service at PSN is having less problems than Xbox Live now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Like, what's the deal with that, Xbox?
that's not excusable either.
Why can't it? Why is their
And
game
Dirt-
their biggest game?
Dirt, we've been talking about. You
Why
said
can't
Dirt.
you complete a game in that when it launches, right? Like I understand, like there's not even that many Xbox Ones out there.
Exactly.
So how the hell, like, how
There's
can you
only
not?
like
Like,
10,000 of
Hear
them.
Jay hyping like
Yeah.
I didn't know Jay was Crap's hype man. Exactly. Exactly.
Come on,
Don't get
man.
mad at me. You can't handle the truth.
Well, listen, this is all I'm saying is this is their biggest friend. Like, what's going to happen when they launch Halo, Xbot? Is that going to be a debacle next gen?
Brother,
Are you going to be able to play?
If you notice how
Minecraft,
many games with the core multiplayer element when it's released this generation have had issues like that?
I can't think of many, to be honest with you.
A lot, brother.
I've never had. I've been able to get on any game that I've wanted to.
Now you're about your personal experience. When we started talking about Gears, I let you know.
But Gears is their big.
Hold on. I had one glitch, and I let you know about that, and you ran off a whole list, right? And I was like, damn, karma got to you, brother. So when it comes down to it, the multiplayer games that have released this generation, you can ask the chat. Ask the chat how many of them have had issues like that, and I'm pretty sure there'll be
how many of them. But how many of those how many of those third-party companies are trying to sell us on this digital future with this streaming future, and then can't even get their own first-party shit to run day one?
Dude, that is the question right there, right?
How am I supposed to believe in any of the stuff that they're pushing? Again, look at the stuff that they're promising us. They promised us this huge Crackdown 3, this huge world with multiplayer destruction. Everything's destructible. You know what? The matches lasted 3 minutes before they were over, and now nobody's even on it. Like nobody.
Rumor is PS5 and Scarlett are going to be always online systems as well. That is like the newest rumor.
That's the newest rumor out of the chat section. We just saw it.
Out of the chat section.
I don't see it.
It reminded me of the article. If you want, I can go get the article.
Let me start
even if it is, it doesn't matter.
We start a rumor in chat too. Hold on.
Oh, he's gonna.
Start one.
So real quick, let me ask you guys: do you think that the Coalition 343 and Turn 10 should work on other IPs aside from Gears, Halo, and Forza? And then you know what I'm saying? You can still get. Listen, at the end of the day, this generation we got one real new Halo. And then we'll have one to kickstart the next one. Would you guys be opposed to 343 building something of their own and then doing a Halo to start the following generation or something like that?
I have no problem with that because there's no bigger The Last of Us fan than me, and I had to wait an entire generation to get another one. So I have no problem for Gears 6 to come out at the end of the Scarlett generation and maybe see what the Coalition can put together in the beginning part of the next generation. Let them do something else. I'm sure if you went and if Jason from Kotaku could go and see all the disgruntled people at the Coalition. Are you disgruntled? Yes, I'd like to make something else for once. Maybe they want to make something else. Maybe they have something else. If Ninja Theory has things on the back burner after the mega exclusive explosion of Hellblade
and Bleeding Edge,
right? Maybe the Coalition has something on the shelf that's amazing. Maybe 343 does with 600 employees.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, come on.
This is what I think when it comes down to it. I feel like if the development studio wants to do something else, let them. All right. It depends on the studio because
that's true.
If you try to force, especially an established,
I agree with Xbox here. Yeah.
If you try to force them to do something, you know their heart is not in it. And like Mooch said before, he felt like there were games this generation, or Mooch or Crap said this, but it said like it felt like when the game came out and you played it, like they made it for the check at the end of the day.
Right.
Like you don't want that to happen, especially with a brand new IP.
I do agree with you
from
there,
a solidified studio.
But it does seem like they're forced though to be IP factories or whatever.
What it seems, and it actually is, we don't really know the deal. So that's why I am going with if they want to do it. If you want to do it, split the team off, start creating it, start building it up. And you know, as it gets closer, you know, deeper into development, if you have to pull more people, then do so. But at the end of the day, it's up to the development studio on whether or not they want to do something different.
Well, you're telling me that 343 couldn't split up 600 people team into 2 teams and still work on Halo and then also something new?
Like I said, if they want to, brother.
Hey, anybody in the chat, what do you guys think, man? Type of 1 if you want to see these studios do something new. Type of 2 if you're like, hell no. Gears, Forza, and Halo for life.
Predator.
Here's the thing, like what you said.
Oh, what do you say?
If you have a 600 man team working on the game, in the best result of that, it'll give you an 85, 86 Metacritic.
Damn, brother.
Everything is numbers with him.
Wouldn't it?
I know
honestly, you know, wouldn't it be worth the time to split those teams into 2 or maybe even 3? and work on other projects where you have better success to, you know.
So if listen, I'm fine with the crap because we was talking about it earlier on Twitter. I'm absolutely fine with it, man. If the coalition want to do something different or whatever, I'm fine with that. Now back to what Jada said. If a 600-person team can't get a 85 Metacritic game, why would a 200-person team be able to get one?
No, listen, because there's a lot of think about it. Think about this, right? Ori and the Blind Forest was probably made by like two guys in the basement, and that game got like a 90-something Metacritic versus a game that is had almost $1 billion budget and all these people working on it that can barely get in the 80s. Like, why is it even worth it at that point in time to even try?
The Metacritic isn't the metric, and I get that these are companies and they're more concerned about money, so it's not about the money, it's about what the sales numbers are.
I get it, but here's what's changing, right? We got Game Pass. These games cost $1, so to us,
that's not all the time, dude.
Listen,
it is right now.
If Microsoft was spend $1 billion
like that for how long?
Making a game with 600-700 people and sell it for $1, but by all means, go ahead and do that. I applaud them for that. But what I'm saying is, if you find out some of the smaller games, or maybe not even smaller, but titles that have smaller teams working on some of these games, look at what the Ninja Theory was able to do with Hellblade, right? Look at the quality they did with the graphics and the story and stuff like that. With that small handful of people, was able to get a higher Metacritic and a better adoption rate of people who actually bought the game without being in Game Pass than somebody else, that goes out and spend all this money on this.
If they made a Metacritic simulator video game, you would be all in your glory, brother.
But you know what? That's what you want to play, man. But there was one point in time where you cared about Metacritic, right? And that was when Microsoft was actually when they actually had good Metacritic, when they actually had the good MPD number, when they were actually able to sell you games for $60.
I don't remember such time.
Nobody cares, right?
I don't remember such time.
I remember.
Specifically, what did I say?
Members.
Specifically, what did I say that you're going to put me in that category without knowing anything?
Listen. Let's stop having amnesia. Let's stop having amnesia. Let's act like.
Just point me in the direction of something.
Hey, we got to remember. Just last week or 2 weeks ago, people were like Blair Witch, and now where's that Blair Witch? Who?
Exactly.
Blair Witch who? I mean, that's how that thing goes. Now, the funny thing was about the Blair Witch, which I saw somebody mention this in the chat, right? Like everybody argued me, right? Because I said there's no way that game's staying exclusive, right? Because people jumped on me when Ashen went to PS4, and I go, Microsoft lied. They said this is an exclusive game, and then everybody's like, no, you got to read the fine print crap. It says right there, start first on Xbox or console first exclusive launch, whatever the hell bullshit that Phil Spencer likes to shovel to people to get people to believe that they actually have exclusives. And then he'll go off and say, well, exclusives don't matter, but let's go ahead and on our E3 presentation put exclusive because it does matter, and he knows it matters. So everybody was hyping up this game. It comes out, gets another 60-something meta score, and then all of a sudden everybody's quiet about it, and they're like, well, it's going to go to PS4 anyway. It's just a launch exclusive, right? Like, that's how people change their
99 cents. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's only 99 cents, right? Like that's
you upset you lost 99 cents.
Yeah, I mean, come on, like we only lost Battletoads. It's going to be a flaming turd 55 meta, but it's only 99 cents, so who cares, right?
Right.
That's
exactly.
The
problem. Give Xbox credit, though. Xbox said something that was true. He's like, we keep saying the dollar thing, and he goes, that's not going to be forever. He's right.
Yeah.
And the problem is, though, when he's right, boy, that's going to make a turn for the worse because once it's not 99 cents, not a lot of people are going. I mean, when it's $9.99, there's not going to be a lot of people.
I'm curious to see if they're going to do this whole $2 thing every time they come out with a major release.
Probably, Pred.
Well, listen, they want to lock people in,
kind of like hook people in.
Crap. It's like WWE Network. Every big pay-per-view, they say you get this pay-per-view for free, and it seems to be working for them. So I don't know. Maybe that's some type of strategy these companies do. I don't know. They want people in the ecosystem. I don't know.
They're counting on you to cancel your subscription. That's what they're counting on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Find something else.
Listen, I like the WWE Network.
Your subscription and you keep playing games, and you are an active user. I
pay my 10 a month because, to be honest with you, when you used to just get say WrestleMania or SummerSlam or something, they were like $50-$60 a piece.
Yeah.
So you can get the whole year for the price of, and then you can watch all the little shitty ones too.
But again,
so
let me say this much though. Let me use Crap's example, and I don't watch a second of WWE.
Oh, I love me some
not
wrestling.
one second.
Now, see the problem I'm having.
Hold on,
Wait.
My point being is Crap just said what all the hardcore gamers say. That's what people argue all the time in the Xbox camp. Like, well, if you buy 2 games a year, it already pays itself off. Correct. Crap just told you. If you watch SummerSlam, okay, and whatever the other big event is, WrestleMania, you already paid more than if you got the monthly subscription. But the point is, someone like me that doesn't watch it at all, I don't want nothing to do with WWE for $10 a month, right? Do you guys understand now? And if you want to get the masses, which is what Phil's talking about when he says 2 billion gamers, he's not talking about the people that listen to this show. He's not talking about the people that know who Mooch and Crap are. He's not talking about them. He's talking about the people that play just Call of Duty, the people that just play Madden, the people that just play NBA 2K. And those people are not going to pay $10 a month. They're not. And that's the problem. So that's what the system is kind of flawed.
Yeah.
The hardcore's buying it. That's why whenever you hear anybody on YouTube, they're like, it's a great value. You can't argue it. We're not arguing it.
Yeah.
But
it is a good value.
Are you saying Game Pass like moves like was it never was? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, that was before they allowed their first party. And well, be careful, dude. You have to listen. If you're going to use the words, use them correctly, right?
Yeah, that's like when people are like, "Crap," said, "Sea of Thieves is the game of the generation," and I'm like, "Oh, they always."
There's also people. If you go back to the '80s, dirt, like you like in your hot tub time machine. Okay, real quick. People are saying cable's never going to be a thing. Okay, right. So my point being is, listen, you take out the first party games, it's truly a never was. Because then you lose the hardcore saying, I buy Halo and Gears anyway. So that's worth it for me.
Well, here's the thing.
Right?
For me,
so my point is that you lose that customer. So when I said it was a never was, that was before they made the announcement. Me and Crap had 6-month giveaways. We couldn't give it away. We had people on M&C writing us in the DMs being like, could we trade that back in for like a game code? We don't want this.
I remember that.
So people were giving us years of that shit. I was like, I can't give this stuff. I was giving it to people. I was like, nobody wants this Game Pass crap.
They didn't want it then. Now Xbox makes it more. Of course, it's more appealing to the hardcore now because if you're going to buy Halo, Gears, or Forza, which is going to come out respectively at least once a year, it's got a great value.
Yeah. Here's the thing though, with the whole great value thing, right? It sounds good. And it is a really good bargain, but people don't gravitate towards value or budget or those terms in the psychic of a consumer doesn't speak high quality because they know people. You know, when Phil Spencer walked out there and said the Xbox One X is a premium item, that's what gravitated towards the masses. They want something premium. They want something where when they spend their money, they know that they're getting the best. Not necessarily if he walked out and said, hey, this is our value budget item, people would just kind of look the other way and go on about their business. Right. And so while Game Pass is a great value, while it's a great budget, people just they're not going to gravitate towards it because of the mental psyche.
I will actually, Jay, I will definitely disagree with you on that because they said, when it came to the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X, the X was for the hardcore, for the people who want to spend the more money, but they felt like their backbone was the S because it was it was a value. It was a cheaper box that you can go in and still play your games. And I believe Mooch, when we were talking about that before the X dropped and everything, you kind of felt like, that they are right with that because at the end of the day, the lower price point introductory console or whatever, it is the one that is going to sell the most because let's be honest here, you can pay like $7 for a Baconator at Wendy's, but most of their people that go through the drive-thru are hitting up that dollar menu for that junior bacon cheeseburger or that crispy chicken sandwich, man.
Guess what? Burger King is doing a great job advertising it every other commercial. And Xbox is doing it where? On their Xbox One and on Mooch and Crap reruns. Listen.
Best place to show it, man.
This is the thing that's the issue, okay? And shout out to somebody who's in the Joshua was in the chat. He goes, he was talking about Netflix. If you guys, everyone always forgets about the past a bit here. Netflix, when it first came out, was just the discs, right? Yeah. It was a disc, and they had a very, very poor library of digital downloads or streaming, right? They had What About Bob, and then they had discs that you could get. And when it was discs, it was doing very bad. Netflix wasn't doing great. Okay, now they stepped it up, but they advertise in word of mouth. Plus, it's a lot easier to reach people with movies. Xbox isn't doing the right marketing. You know, and everybody likes to keep clapping and applauding Aaron Green. Listen, I don't like to blame Aaron because I felt over the years that Aaron's not the single point. He's not the bottleneck. He's not the issue. Okay, I think it goes beyond him. But we point to him because he's the, in air quotes, the marketing lead. Okay, but if you're going to go ahead and use him as the lead, that's fine. Whoever's running their marketing division is horrid. They're terrible. And even diehard Xbox fans say that. So what I'm trying to say is that they need to press it more and they need to do something else. And what I'm telling you guys is this. Once that 99-cent deal is up or the $1.99 deal is up and it goes back to $9.99, and then you have these other companies, all these other people want in on this subscription service every month. And you're not going to get the Devil May Cries. And you're not going to get these other companies who have their own streaming service, and it's only reliant on first party and indies. That this is a great value for $10 to get, you know, Cuphead 2 and State of Decay 3. It's not going to hold water. Yeah. And that's what's coming down the pipe unless there's a major change that we're all unaware of. And that's what I'm saying. And nobody's looking at that. Everyone's just, it's a great value, Mooch. Stop talking. Why are we talking about this on a gaming talk show?
Mooch, you're so full of crap. Why are you talking this? Why are you?
I don't understand why we would have a gaming talk about video games and talk about games and video game services on a gaming show.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah.
Luke, stop talking. Hey, okay. All right. Great.
Everybody hit the like button. I appreciate it. Listen, I just wanted to talk about this real quick. So there is Sony's event for The Last of Us 2 on September 24th, but also Z Tiny said that there's going to be a PlayStation event as well at the end of September, another one. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, pretty big swing in there. Does that mean you guys don't think there's going to be a PSX this year?
Well, there's the Tokyo Gaming Show is actually going on right now. I'm actually watching it right now.
Nice. Do they got any megatons?
Well, yeah. We got Kojima going. He's literally going to play about an hour of Death Stranding,
the game of the year. He's gonna be perusing
Final
that.
Fantasy
Yeah,
7, Iron Man, all that stuff they have. Gotcha. And then we have this unknown event. So I think it will be too close to the end of the year. I do believe Sony's probably going to postpone PSX until January or February and just go ahead and do the full-blown PS5 reveal.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think they're going to reveal the actual console though.
So
I think they're going
to towards no PSX thing crap.
Yeah, like why would they hold this event for Last of Us?
Right. That's
if they were going to do that
sense.
In December, it doesn't really make sense to me.
This upcoming year is the swan song for PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
It's they got the biggest bangers coming. I mean
just look at the stuff that they got coming next year. Even on PS4, you've got Ghost of Tsushima. Even if that's on PS5 as well, that's still coming to PS4.
Yeah.
You've got Last of Us 2. You've got looks like Neo 2. Project Awakening. Yeah, you've got Concrete Genie also coming, I think, this year, and then you've also got Shenmue 3 coming this year. Death Stranding.
Did you just call Concrete Genie a banger?
Oh well, for me,
the game looks cool as
hell.
Oh,
it does look cool.
That's more of an Xbox game than a crap game, brother.
No. Listen, it's a VR game though too, man.
You can play it both VR.
Yeah, you got to remember. You got to
VR. Yeah.
Yeah, like that, like a gorgeous game like that just screams like VR. Like, listen, I'm telling you. No, listen, play No Man's Sky in VR, and it's a different story than playing it just on you're immersed in it is. It's so amazing. Somebody says, hey, you didn't talk about Phil Spencer playing Project Scarlett. Guess what, guys? Phil Spencer played Project Scarlett for the first time. He played some Project Scarlett games, you guys.
He played Bleeding Edge on Scarlett.
Yeah, he did. He said, man, this game is
to play.
He said it still looks bad.
Damn, Jay.
Stripping in this state?
You play Battletoads.
He's like, yeah. Hey, I could here's the thing. I saw that and I thought, and I'm not sure because I haven't really been on YouTube today, but I thought for sure that other people would be running with Phil Spencer plays Project Scarlett. It's amazing. You know what I mean? Like he played it, but I can remember this man saying he played Crackdown 3 and it played much better and was much more like Crackdown. So I'm not really sure that I believe or care. But it's interesting.
I think the credibility, right, is kind of out the door. So when they do say stuff, people kind of look at it skeptical and take
they should.
Yeah.
They should. Yeah. I mean, listen, Phil's out. Phil, all the stands out there for Phil. Phil Spencer.
Side-eye Spencer.
Phil's going to be there. Oh, my gosh, Phil, let me make sure how do I look? We got to make sure that I look good for Phil. You know what I mean? Man. Like, come on. Oh, dude. Hey, Dirt, you make fun. But when Aaron Greenberg at Gamescom was like, Phil Spencer's going to be there, everybody's like, Phil Spencer, woo! You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, oh, man. Okay.
Now, listen, I can't go that far. I mean, Phil is cool and all, but I'm not going that far, man.
No matter what their job are.
Hey, I appreciate it, everyone. Anyway, who was that? Alicio Monreal. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Mooch, what do you got going on this week, man? 2 hours is up.
I can't believe it, but a great show, by the way. Awesome to hang out with. No, honestly, awesome to hang out with.
It's fun,
awesome to hang out with J Dubs and Xbot and Pred. Awesome show. And of course, shout out to Sully.
Sully
made this all happen. So shout out to Sully. Crap, just to know what's going on, let me tell you what's going on. I am going to be playing a lot of Gears the rest of tonight and tomorrow early evening, and then all weekend long, twitch.tv, the Mooch78. It is going to be, I got Mooch the game. I'm so excited. I'm downloading it in 2 minutes as soon as this is over. I already have it. Borderlands 3, baby. It is Borderlands time. Yeah. I am so excited. I waited all year for this. I cannot wait. It's going to be great. I'm just ecstatic. So check me out on Twitch all weekend.
So maybe we'll talk about it on Crossfire.
Yes.
Yep. Xbot, what do you got going on, man?
Well, first off, I just want to give a huge shout out to the chat. Thank you guys. Everybody in the chat that is supporting me or whatnot. If you really want to support me, just go right over to my YouTube channel, Xbot448. Go ahead and hit that sub button. Check out the recent content. I dropped a couple videos this week already. And it's an absolute blast to be able to put out content for you guys, all the gamers out there in the community. J-Dub, Dirt, as usual, guys, it's always a blast talking games with you. Crap, Mooch, we talk about games all the time anyway.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
You know what I'm saying?
Heck yeah, we do.
But other than that, Saturday, next podcast, I'll be on Crossfire this Friday as well.
Crossfire!
It's what I do, man. It's what I do.
Looking forward to that. We also got Predator, man. What's going on, man? What do you got going on?
No next podcast for me this Saturday, so I don't know. Nothing much.
Anybody want to fill in for Fred?
Watching the Cowboys beat up on whoever the next opponent is.
Oh, we got a Cowboys fan.
At least he had a Detroit Lion fan. Shit.
Oh, hey, man, not everybody's team can put up 59 points.
I know, that was crazy,
not everybody can
bro.
Team,
that was crazy.
Exactly my point. We also got we got Kratos. What's going on, man? What do you got going on?
Hey, man, same old. Just chilling. Man, getting ready for this Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta. What else? I'm doing the EA their new cloud streaming thing, so I'm testing that, testing some xCloud. Just kind of I'm doing my tech thing this week, just trying to test the waters, dip my toe into it and see what this stuff is all about.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to that. And Dirt, man, what do you got? I know you got a podcast right after this. So
yeah, I do have a podcast, but it's not on my channel tonight. It's on my boy MM2K's channel because I might have to go to work, which I thought I had to do this podcast, but I didn't have to. But yeah, check out our podcast, man. And that's about it, man. Even though this podcast was hurtful tonight, but it's okay. I'll be okay.
Hey, we covered the good stuff. We covered the bad stuff.
I'm just talking about my personal feelings.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Hey,
y'all hurt my feelings.
85 Metacritic score.
Everybody hit the like.
By the way, unfortunately, but Gears 5 is back down to 85 Metacritic. For
those Borderlands 3, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well,
media bias. I to defend Borderlands. Borderlands is not, for some reason, because that whole thing that happened. A lot of people were wondering, like, well, Borderlands is only an 85. They released it to like 18 or 20 people because of that whole leak that happened with YouTube earlier. So now they're releasing it. I guess everyone's going to be able to release their stuff on Friday because they didn't want to release it earlier. So it's sitting at 85 now. I would think when everybody gets it, it'll go up.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Like, share, all that kind of good stuff. Check out these fine people's channels, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you, Sully. We're out. Peace out.
Peace.
Later.